Yo, Shortbox Nation, this is Botter, and I'm here to tell you right now that con season starts early this year with the return of Northeast Florida's premier anime, comic book, and sci-fi event, Collective Con. That's right, Northeast Florida's largest pop culture convention returns for its 10th year on March 8th through the 10th at the Prime Osborne Center in Jacksonville, Florida. 10 years of Collective Con, they're pulling all the stops out to make sure this is a can't-miss event. And the guest list they got going, don't even get me started on the guest list. I mean, they've got A-list celebrity guests and voice actors from some of your favorite movies, anime, and video games like Elijah Wood and Sean Ashton, Ray Park, Trisha Helfer, Ross Marquand, Max Middleman, and Bo-Katan herself will be there, Katie Sackhoff. Tell me what other convention is giving you the opportunity to meet Frodo and Sam from Lord of the Rings, Darth Maul, and One Punch Man all under the same roof. Only at Collective Con. And if you're looking to get some of your favorite comics signed, or if you want to get an original sketch from some of the best comic artists in the world, well, you're in luck, because there'll be plenty of comic and creator guests there, like DC comic artist extraordinaire Clay Mann, Harvey Award-nominated illustrator John Taylor Christopher, Marvel and DC cover artist Chris Stevens, and acclaimed Star Wars author Timothy Zahn. They'll all be at Collective Con this year. And if you're looking to bring the family, or if you want to make a weekend out of it, you're in luck, because there'll be so much going on at Collective Con that weekend in the form of vendors, fan panels, video game tournaments, cosplay contests, after parties, and a bunch of fan events. You can purchase single and 3-day weekend passes now using the link in this episode's show notes, or by going to collectivecon.com to book your tickets and hotel. Buy your tickets now, and I'll see you at Collective Con, March 8th through the 10th. Now let's start the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Shortbox Season 6. Yeah.
But we've got a full episode today, Shortbox Nation, as you could probably already tell. We'll be sharing our top 5 favorite artists and talking about some news that happened this week in the comic world and beyond. But before we begin, I want to go and get our credits out the way, especially if we have new listeners joining us for the first time. I want to go ahead and welcome them to the Shortbox Podcast. I am your host, Botter Milligan, and I am joined by my incredible ensemble of talented co-hosts and friends. That includes my right-hand man, Cesar Cordero.
Yeah, bats don't shiv. These balls nasty.
We got Edmund Danzar here with us.
You too, Billy. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, y'all got a little thing going on? Yeah, y'all working? Okay, cool. Yeah, the Ed and Cesar show. I like it.
Yeah,
Just jumping from gang to gang.
right.
Different.
That's exactly right.
And last but not least, we got Ashley Good Hair Day, Laney Hoy.
Wow.
Can I tell you, I was wearing a headband and I took it off before I came in because I wasn't ready to deal with
He knew.
repercussions.
If you ever
See, abused animals on the show.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn.
it's like...
That one really hurt. That one really hurt.
It's in my passenger seat.
Damn.
Lee.
I bet you it was really cool too. Like
It was-
noteworthy.
it was
enough
cute,
probably
yeah.
for me to make a joke.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was
It
going to say... See,
Do you want to pause and go grab it?
Oh, I wanna
like,
come
yeah,
and see
we're
it
down. All
Is
right,
that the Rising Sun headband, like 80s style?
all right, on break, you got to go grab this headband. And let me re-record this intro. But yes, we've got Ashley Laney Hoy with us. And we are recording from the Shortbox studio here in Jacksonville, Florida. And this episode is made possible by our sponsor, Gotham City Limit, Jacksonville's premier location for the comic books, collectibles, toys, and more. And of course, our Shortbox patrons, whose contributions help us pay podcast bills. If you'd like to help us keep the lights on, consider joining the ranks of our Shortbox Elite and becoming a patron. And if that doesn't pique your altruism enough, how about I throw in bonus episodes, commercial-free listening, and merch for as low as $2 a month? You can take a look for yourself on our membership site, patreon.com.
give us your fucking money.
/ the Shortbox.
Give it.
And you know what? If you aren't in a position to support us financially,
You are in a position.
don't worry. The struggle is real. We respect that.
It's not real enough. I don't respect it.
You can actually still help us grow this podcast by helping us recruit some new Shortbox listeners by spreading the word. Tell a friend, and then tell a few of your favorite nerds about us. Encourage them to subscribe to the Shortbox.
Tell all your fucking friends.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve, for that
Tell your
violent.
fucking mom.
See, I would love to see you launch a violent
Give us your
ASMR.
fucking money. Violent
Like a violent ASMR for like gangsters and shit. Like, yeah.
Slide this knife in your eye. Is it cool if I?
With a sound effect?
Is it cool if I take this machine
yeah,
gun
this is
and
too
shoot
much.
your family?
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is too much. See, like I said, I don't want a repeat of last episode, guys.
Well, that's
You
too late.
you set me up for it.
Moving on. I got some shout outs
If you
for.
bring it up, it's gonna
He's
happen.
sitting here. He pulls his pants down. He's like, I really
wait,
don't
what?
want. I really don't want.
For the listeners, my
He's
pants
like-
are up,
he's
so
like,
I've got them tied.
For the record, Botter's wee wee is out
Oh no.
because he has problems with language. He's like, see, I really don't want you to say anything dirty.
You need to see a doctor.
Really, like, don't say anything about how you want to kill someone. Oh, is it hot in here, guys? My eyebrows are sweating.
Peter, I can still. Sorry. Oh man, it's that editing was rough.
You, Peter.
I want to give a quick shout outs to a few folks, starting with David Morales. I did promise him I'd do this.
Ah.
We're all hopping on the geeky train, baby.
No, we are not.
Choo,
No.
choo.
David,
I told him specifically
David, we're not
to
hopping
not
on this
suggest
train.
that.
We are on the geeky train.
No.
I'm your
I told him
geeky
Botter's going to be
conductor
wearing
today.
a conductor's hat, like Mr. Rogers.
Oh man,
Choo-choo sounds? No.
I mainly want to shout him out not only for that great idea about
He's,
the geeky
No,
train.
it's not a good. David, you will get pictures of chodes on your Instagram until you relinquish this geeky train
Can we
nonsense.
ban listeners?
I don't know.
It might be this is the first time.
Can we?
Yeah, that's weird because I was going to give him the first inaugural Short Box Fan of the Week award. You know,
Banned.
only because not only did he give me that great bit to go ahead and run on,
So
but
terrible. I should have deleted that
he is.
message.
Oh yeah, Ed. I was like, damn, he left this here for me to view. Geeky Train. That's a great idea. I reached out to David on the side, like, thank you. But I mean, David is always supporting the show. He's always really encouraging people to listen. Yeah, he's a great dude, man. So
We're like, he's great.
He's great.
He's awesome.
He's great.
He's really awesome.
It's going to be a shame what happens.
Yeah.
A real shame.
Yeah, terrible.
Real tragedy.
I want to go ahead and give him and name him the Short Box Fan of the Week, man. Your no prize is in the mail, buddy.
No prize.
And I'll give one more shout out.
Does he get that? The no prize?
I hope so. David, if you don't know what the no prize is, I'm taking the no prize back.
Just wait for it.
Yeah, you just wait for it, buddy.
Oh my God. Pull your pants up.
All right. My last shout out, and then we'll get into it for real. No, my pants staying down. Big shout out to Mr. Warren Evans, aka Bart of Darkness. If you don't know, you will now. We premiered his pilot episode for his upcoming podcast debut, Simpsons is Greater Than.
Good shit.
A show about the cultural impact of Simpsons. He is launching his own feed here in the next couple of weeks, I think by the end of the month. But we did the honors, and we had the honors, really, to premiere his pilot episode last week, and that was his interview with the iconic voice actors behind Lisa Simpson, Yardley Smith. That episode is available wherever you get your podcast apps. It was the last one we released last week. Like I said, that was the pilot episode for his upcoming show. Shout outs to Warren. I'm really excited for what he's got lined up. He's got some amazing episodes in the bank, so that should be really cool. But yeah, I don't want a repeat of last episode. We pushed the envelope on that one.
It's explicit. Our podcast is E.
There's no envelope. There's not a beyond E. Yeah.
What is it?
Squee?
NC-17. What is the rating?
Honestly,
rating
when podcast is like, yo, do y'all curse? All right, well, kids can't listen, and that's a wrap.
You want children to listen to what we say?
No, is this a children's podcast
What is
now?
the matter with you?
Ooh,
Did we get a new sponsor?
You're like, hey, kid, hey, come here.
Is there a new sponsor from like Babies R Us or something that we need?
Short Box brought to you by KB Toys.
I'm just saying,
Katie would be cool with Chris.
Imagine if we did a kids version, a kids bop version of our show.
Kids Jams.
I mean, there's a whole, like
I can't even imagine that. My brain is destroyed just trying to
Just
think.
do like the chipmunk thing and make our voices higher.
Yeah. Oh, God. Can you imagine if Potter's like a perverted like Dave where he's like,
no, let's not.
Oh,
Not
no.
at all. Like,
wait,
no.
now make her. Yeah.
Am I crusty? Am
Suck my dick, Dad.
am I itchy or scratchy?
Do you know what Ed is referring to?
Itchy and scratchy?
No,
I didn't hear
No,
him.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, no, I got that.
You're Dave
Cesar.
Seville.
But I'm saying
Cesar.
his delivery came off more like itchy and scratchy than Alvin and Chipmunk.
Oh,
well, we can't speed our voices up in real time,
yeah, dude.
Potter. I'm
That's
sorry,
done,
we can't.
That's Done McCampus.
I'm sorry. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Shortbox Podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Someone get a helium
Jacksonville's
balloon.
#1 pop culture comic book podcast.
I'll come with a helium balloon next time. So I can do.
Can we start so that way we can make fun of you without feeling guilty, so that we know you're going to actually leave it in?
I don't feel.
You guys just live in a constant fear of me, like, just editing all the good
Yeah,
stuff.
no, not fear. It's a reality.
There's gonna be an episode where there's no sound at all. It's gonna be like that G.I.
Silent
Joe
issue? Yeah.
no dialogue issue.
Edited, yeah.
Silence.
Shortbox Podcast edited by Larry Hama.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Well, I figured we should come out the gate with last episode. C had been assigned 2 assignments.
You didn't do it.
I did.
Per,
Oh, you did?
I think Ashley had assigned this work.
Well, both you guys co-signed on Southern Bastards, and I read the first trade. And Ashley gave me the homework of Hamilton.
At least
And
I gave you good homework.
hey, man, I got stuff to say. I got this. All right. So, as far as Hamilton is concerned, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ashley, I'm going to describe to you my viewing experience. Okay. All right. So first thing I did was I got onto Disney Plus. I changed my avatar from Darth Vader to Magneto because why not? And then I started watching Hamilton. All right. As it was going on, I was like, okay, I see why. I get this. I totally get this. I see why people are into this show because I made the joke on our text thread that this was brownwashing.
Wow.
But it also serves a purpose, right? So like the American experience has constantly sort of been old crusty white guys, and it's hard for someone of color to look at that part of history and relate to it. But when you have all these cast of characters, and am I wrong in assuming that I think Lin-Manuel Miranda said that when other stage productions do their version of Hamilton, it's also non-race exclusive? Is that correct?
Maybe. I've only seen it the one time.
Okay, so
I just really liked it.
Right. I heard. Well, okay. All right. No, I heard that it's like, yeah, non-race specific, which is even better because, like, I think Sarah was telling me that there's another version of Hamilton where like an Asian guy plays Alexander Hamilton.
Is it all the race? Like there's an Asian version?
No, I mean it's
Puerto Rican
it's
version?
everybody. Like it's like whatever. Like so he did it that
That's
way,
kinda
and
cool.
right. So I was like, okay, I understand that, and the fact that they play up the immigrant thing a whole lot, which I wholeheartedly is something I am. I mean, obviously, I'm down with that sort of thing in the sense that that is the American experience as well, 100%, right? And I'm seeing all this, and it's hitting me hard, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Damn, like I get it. Like maybe this is exactly why it's there, and why, especially little kids, like the next generation, needs to watch this so they can see it and be like, one,
That and listen to our podcast.
right. And American history is interesting, and it can be told through the lens of music where it's easily digestible. And then I looked
happen.
at so I'm sitting here and I looked and then I go, okay, I get it. And I look and I said, Jesus Christ, only 15 minutes went by? Only 15 minutes went by? Nope. Done. I freaking turned it off and
How
I was
long is
like,
it?
3 hours.
3
man.
hours?
Yeah.
Well, it's like 2 hours and 39 minutes, but like, it's just,
Basically 3 hours.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
You can round
I was
that
like, fuck this. So like, the ideas, all those ideas, am I wrong in assuming that that's kind of like the theme of the show?
Yeah,
Right? Like-
you didn't even make it to King George.
So I saw King George.
Okay.
Yeah, where he's like spitting all over the place. Yeah.
What about-
La da 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 da? Yeah, I saw all of that.
This
yeah.
is for me with like musicals and stuff. What about in a live context? Would you see? Would you sit and watch it?
So no, not at all. And here's why. So the music is good. The show is well written. The acting is great. I'd say Lin-Manuel Miranda's not that good of an actor. He's a little less charismatic. He could have replaced himself with another actor that's a little more charismatic that could sell that a little better. But no shame in his game. I see why he did it. The only real problem I have, and it's nitpicky, it's that the quote unquote rap or the songs in there are really exposition heavy. Where like in any other musical, they're just really good songs that if you have no context, you can still enjoy the music, right? Like, if I was a rich man, la da 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 da. Like, everybody knows that. They don't really understand that Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof is fucking broke and he has 5 daughters and blah, 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 whatever. Here, it is so exposition heavy and Schoolhouse Rocky, where it's like, and Hamilton walked over to the thing and he picked up another thing and he said hi to this guy and and I'm like, do you really need to detail the elements of the plot? Every song is like that. It's like, freaking.
That makes sense.
That's the only thing.
That's a fair criticism, though. I don't like that either.
That's the only thing. Is it's super exposition-y, where it's like, if this was a more nuanced thing, I would give it more credit. And for it being 3 hours, I could not handle 3 hours of exposition-y. And the only parts of and I've listened to people talk about it where they like, but I like this song and whatever. Usually that song, I don't know if they really like the entire song. They like the hook. The hook of the song is what they really dig. Where it's like, I'm not giving away my shot. I am not going to give away my shot. Something like that, right? Like that is a universally emotional thing. Like everybody can relate to that, right? But like when they start talking about like, and George Washington picked up a pen and he freaking scratched his cheek and then he had some stubble and he shaved and he made sure he looked at this guy in the eye and he said, I'm going to sign this thing right now. And you're like, okay.
You should write a musical.
Dude,
I think I just did.
I didn't know.
One day I'm going to collect all of the singing Cesar has done and all the songs and put out a short box Cesar compilation.
Oh. So, final thoughts. Hamilton is good. It's just not for me.
What would you grade it?
Me personally, I would give
grade
it...
your own homework.
Oh, wait, okay.
Remember that?
Yeah. Me personally, I would give it a D. It passes, but barely. And that's just me. But I have no problem with somebody giving it like 100% A+. I live with somebody who gives it 100% A+ and listens to the songs and everything, which is fine. Like it is 100% a good thing. It's just not for me.
Okay. Word.
Which is probably something have we given something a positive rating without throwing shade at it 100%?
Nah, that's our brand.
Ugh, I don't like that. Yuck.
And then what about your last piece of homework?
Oh, Southern Bastards.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and again, both of you guys can see if like I'm off base on this. I did read the first trade, and the story of a dude, an older guy, with a mustache who comes back in the town, and he has a relationship with this town. It's like home, and evil has kind of festered in it for a while since his absence. And there's a legacy that is attached to him that he doesn't really he's been trying to run away from it, basically, like trying to get away from that calling. I don't know how long it's been since you guys have read the first trade, if you remember it. It's still fresh in my mind. So the idea of him accepting the calling and then a lightning storm behind him as it happens, and spoilers, I guess I should make the spoiler free. I'm not going to say anything about
There's like
how
3 trades out.
I don't want to.
It's been 7 years.
I don't want to
something like that.
So the idea of that story hit me really hard. Did it hit you guys pretty hard? Yeah. Like when you first read it?
Just growing up in the South, it kind of was relatable to me.
Right.
Maybe not so much coming back and fighting my demons from the past. Type of thing. But it's like, it's just, it was
the icing on the cake was delicious.
It was a Southern story that wasn't too like cartoony or like exaggerated.
Right.
But like, okay, I've seen these people. I grew up with these people.
So the story I just described to you was the fucking Dark Knight Returns. That's why it's so awesome. That's why it's fucking so good. Southern Bastards, the first trade, is the biggest ripoff of Dark Knight Returns I have ever read.
Wow.
It's hilarious. Like, literally, a white guy with a mustache who's old has to come back, rearrange things in his city.
He's broke,
to make sure. It's true. You're right. But thematically, Bruce's money has nothing to do with Dark Knight Returns. From a thematic standpoint, it is the exact same story. It hits all the same beats, right down to the lightning behind him as he's freaking going out and righting wrongs. I would say it's the Dark Knight Returns mixed with Walking Tall. If you guys have seen that movie.
Yeah, the Rock movie?
The old one.
No, the old one. Okay.
From the
The
70s.
Rock movie.
It's a remake. It's a remake
Yeah,
of
I like
that
it.
one.
Yeah, it's a remake. Got it.
But it's good. I liked it.
I'm going to probably.
But it is definitely the Dark Knight Returns.
I'm going to
probably why I like it.
I'm going to jack that description because I think it does fit it, but I don't For me, it's
I'm only talking about the first trade.
Sure. Yeah,
the only one is the first trade.
I won't.
Because it ends really cool, and it makes me want to keep going, because that story seems it'll tread new ground. Because I'm like, okay, got me.
Yeah.
Because Dark Knight Returns is my favorite Batman comic. Cool. What else you got? Like, all right, I'm good with that. Like, it doesn't bother me that these tropes have been like, whatever. It's basically Sin City, except in the South. Got it. Frank Miller and Southern Frank Miller. Got it.
Isn't that comics though? That's everything is, your influence.
It's a little bit of derivative.
Sure, but it's 100% derivative here. It's not like, I was really, really influenced. Like, it is literally visually the same things. It's hitting the same visual notes. Like, him actually using the cell phone as sort of like it replaces Frank Miller's monologues where he's like, 300 bones, blah, 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 each of them crack in this way. It's the same thing, only he's just using it as a cell phone when he's talking to somebody like, damn you, I don't want to do this, but I have to. It's part of my blah, blah, blah. Like, it's 100% the same. Like, I encourage you to both look. Like, guy with mustache decides to take the law into his own hands and fucking right down to even the bad guys are like comically, like, they have a uniform. They have like a Joker or a, mutants, the mutants of Gotham City sort of like outfit where they're like little freaking, some of them are teenagers. Some of them are freaking like, the mutant leader. Like, it's the same thing. It's just really, really well disguised.
I guess
my grade, it's an A. It is an A. Because it made me want to keep going with the series. And like, to the point where like, I almost was like, damn, I slept on this. Like, I really slept on this. And all you guys I'm assuming you're caught up.
Well, at least kind of stopped.
It's been a long time since it came out.
I love Cesar's ratings sometimes because it's like, damn, I'm ready for this fucking D, and he's like, no, it's actually really good.
I'm a complete ripoff.
Hey, yeah, it is.
Usually,
it is. I mean, I'm not saying it's plagiarism. I'm just saying if you read comics, you will see, like, damn, it's the fucking same thing. Like,
you can do that with a lot of stories, though.
I guess I wasn't
visually though.
I guess the story wasn't
Frank Miller in the South. It's Sin City in the South. Like, it's.
I guess there's a lot of stories that I could have compared it to. I didn't make the Dark Knight connections, but
fine. Just because you don't jerk off to the Dark Knight Returns like I do every night.
But I mean, when I read it, I was like, okay, so old dude redemption. Okay, got it. Run of the mill kind of story.
It ends the same way too.
But I mean, that's first trade. Yeah, okay. Like I said, I didn't make those.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Do what?
No, I'm not saying it. Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
I'll just say this and then we'll move on. I think it's nuanced enough and tells a different story when you start paying attention to the details that I found it still enjoyable. I
did not enjoy it.
Oh, I'm just adding. I'm just adding to it. I'm not debating whether you did or not.
You're implying that I didn't enjoy it.
I guess for me,
I didn't enjoy Hamilton. I enjoyed Southern Bastards.
Oh man,
I still feel like for me, it stood on its own.
Why do you got to defend it? Don't defend it.
I'm not. I'm adding my 2 cents. I'm adding my 2 cents.
Guys, I'm Butter Miller. I wrote Southern Bastards.
Jason Aaron's one of our sponsors, dude.
Shit.
He's the greatest writer ever.
I love your Conan.
I definitely think continue reading it because I think things do start picking up and different things happen to the story to move it along.
That's what I just said.
I'm adding. No. Don't try and clean up. Don't clean up what I said. I fucking have an opinion, and it's for a reason. Well, I'm more happy that you actually did the homework. That's.
You thought I wouldn't. You thought I wouldn't.
Well, Ashley
if I had to bet, I would.
Yeah, me too. Me and Ed had a silent bet
because all you guys wouldn't have done it.
I would have done it. I would definitely. But I found it really funny when I sent in the show notes, and Ashley and you were like, I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to get around to it, and Ashley was like, I had to watch fucking manga.
Hold on.
You're gonna read
those group texts are always funny, man. Because sometimes you guys will go off and I can't look at it right away. And then I'll go and it'll be like, you have 78 messages.
I know. That's what happened to me. It was like 35 texts.
You're like, fuck. And you look, it's like my phone didn't go off like 78 times. So I was like, what? How did this happen?
It's funny to get the whole story at times,
but Ashley was definitely like throwing shade like, oh, but you'll fucking watch Cats, right? Like, you'll fucking watch Cats, but you won't watch fucking Hamilton, huh? What the fuck's the matter with you? I was like, She's got me there.
No, I appreciate the review. C, thank you for the homework. We're off to a successful. Yes.
That's funny the way you said. I didn't know if it was like I think everybody on the show is like an abused dog.
Yeah.
You know, we're like when someone reaches
I'm not fighting you.
When someone reaches to pet, we pee our pants because we're like. So you were like, I appreciate you doing the homework. I'm like, all right, lay it on me then. Fucking insult
fuck
me.
you too, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no, really. Like,
Fuck
no,
you,
thank
teach.
you. Like, good review, good write-up, good overview. I want to continue this homework series, which is our top 5 favorite artists. Last week, I think that was the homework assignment for the group, was just come up with your top 5. We've been talking a lot about the MJ of comic books and going back and forth about who we think's the top.
The Michael Jackson of comics? I don't know about that. Ugh.
So our assignment was to come up with our list of top 5 favorite comic book artists.
Or what?
This I don't know, kid. It's
did this all the
troubled.
time.
Listen, you troubled urban kid in the back. Like, yo,
Hey, yeah, I'm like it's like Stand and Deliver, and Potter's like Morgan Freeman or whatever. Like I'm sitting here like, maybe I don't want to pick my favorite artist, eh? And Potter's like, you're gonna pick this artist, whether you like it or not. I'm gonna inspire you as a teacher, you little fuck.
all right, I'm gonna start using that.
We doing the Coolio video?
Right.
It's dangerous mind shit.
So the premise with this list is that this was our personal, I'm not trying to impress or argue with anyone, don't hit me in my DM type of
You
top
should not
5
have fucking
list.
I'm sorry. You know what show you're on?
Don't at me.
This is gonna
Yeah,
happen.
please don't at me.
It's going to happen.
Because I can already, when I did my list, I was like, you ever just like come up, look at your personal list, you're like, man, this is kind of trash.
No.
Like, I would never share this list.
No, I'm pretty sure my list is awesome.
All right, well.
I think my list is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard to do.
I was talking about like other people's lists, not mine. Not, you know.
I already saw your list, dude.
Damn it.
I would have talked so much shit.
Well, how about this? C, how about you lead us off?
No.
Give us your top 5.
Rob Liefeld on all 5 spots.
Listen, kid, you're going to do it.
weird.
Damn it. Yeah. Well, Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman
You know what?
sounds more
I'm
like
gonna
a.
give it to you. Hold on.
like
I'm gonna
a
give it to you
New York
because
gangster.
I'm gonna give it to you because you
Your top
tried,
5 list.
and I understood.
How about this? Your top 5. No.
Keep
your
going.
top
Keep
5 list. You've got to do it, kid. That's
No. That was good. Do it again.
No. Damn it. Give us your top 5.
All right.
Who's your top
So,
5 comic
Now,
artists?
mind you, this is.
Hey, Shortbox Nation. Sorry for the interruption. Just a few quick words from our sponsor, and we'll get right back to the show. Yeah, so this is where I pick up my comics.
Excuse me, might I remind you the rules here at No Touch Collectibles? No loitering, no friendship, no touching the merchandise without gloves, and no free bags and boards.
Yeah, man, I know. This shop sucks. I don't even know why I shop here.
Well, we could go to.
Jacksonville's premier location for comic books, collectibles, toys, and more.
You okay?
At Gotham City Limits, you get 10% off comic books in your pull, 20% off trade paperbacks and hardcovers, 10% off high-end figures and statues, and free bags and boards. It's practically criminal.
And that's why Gotham City Limits is a place of the people.
How many times have you watched the Batman trilogy?
I'm ashamed to say.
Well, I mean, they're not bad.
One time for every time the Joker has taken the city hostage.
Are you done with that?
Yeah, I'm done.
Well, let's just go take our business there.
Gotham City Limit. It's the comic book shop Jax deserves, but not the one.
All right. I get it. It's a great shop. Let's just go. Yo, this is Botter. Sorry for interrupting this episode, but I'll keep it brief. I wanted to let you know about a massive sale we have going on over at the Shortbox store on all of our merchandise and apparel. That's theshortboxstore.bigcartel.com. You can now save 20% off your entire order using the discount code YOO, Y-O-O. So if you've been waiting for the right time to finally buy that gauntlet snapback, or if you ever wanted to buy any of the shirts you see me wear on the podcast, well, now's your chance to get them for a steal. We still have a few sizes left of everything, but they won't last long, and once they're gone, they are gone. And then I mentioned that all of our apparel is screen printed on high quality material. None of that heat transfer or direct to garment stuff. Our shirts are some of the most comfortable ones you'll ever wear, and the hats look even better in person. So wear your support for the Shortbox Nation proudly, knowing that you're going to look damn good doing it. Get to theshortboxstore.bigcartel.com as soon as you can, and don't forget to use that discount code YOO, Y-O-O, to save 20% off your entire order. All of this information can be found in this episode's show notes if you want to get there faster. Thanks for not pressing fast forward. Now back to the show.
Not in any particular order, right? I will give you my 5.
Cheap.
I will give you my 5. I bet you my list fucking blows yours out the water.
What?
Mine's kind of derivative.
All right.
Like
So I will say 5 is going to be Gary Gianni. Yeah, see, I got a out of Ed. All right. So go fuck yourself.
I got a that's a good like benchmark.
Top 5. 5 is Gary Gianni. 4 is Mike Kaluta.
Very nice.
Come on, man. See? 3 is Jose Gonzalez of Vampirella fame.
Okay.
2 is Dave Stevens.
Ah, very nice.
Number 1 is Bernie
Robertson.
Wrightson, of course.
Nice.
Bernie,
nice.
yeah.
Can you say anything about what was that last individual?
Dave Stevens?
No. Or the first one that you said, sorry.
Gary Gianni.
Gary Gianni. I will admit I am unfamiliar.
That's fine. A lot of people really don't know who he is. He basically was Al Williamson's understudy. So like all of like Al Williamson's like really, really like photorealistic stuff, the line work. Gary Gianni kind of turned it up to 11, and all of his stuff looks kind of like wood carving. So it's like really, really intense. I would compare him to the Gustave Doré of comic books. If you guys don't know who that is, look him up. It's totally apropos. He did work for Hellboy, the Weird Tales Tales series. He has illustrated the Solomon Kane adaptation of the books for Robert E. Howard. He's also done stuff for The Shadow. When The Shadow had the property for Dark Horse. I think the story was in the Coils of Leviathan, if I'm not mistaken, because Mike Kaluta also did work with The Shadow for Hitler's Astrologist. But yeah, Gary Gianni's really good. I highly recommend you get into his work if you don't know who he is.
Nice. Very good. Troubled youth.
Hey, fuck you, eh?
All right, Ed, what about you, man? Who is in your top 5?
Dude, you're going to follow all of us? Ooh, bad move.
Yo, it's just what I do as a host. You know, you put your team ahead of you first. And
Hey,
then,
somebody get Broder off the cross here. What a fucking martyr. Jesus.
I've got an itch on my nose. Help me out here.
Okay, let me see if I do this. This can be, like you said, I just kind of, before I do my 5, I just wrote down a list of people.
Yeah.
Like a whole notebook page full of people. And I ended up picking out the top 5 I wrote down just from my head.
Sure.
Okay.
And just since I've been organizing my comics, it's like I have so many factors in doing this. So most of these aren't active right now. So number 5, he's probably my only active artist, is Eric Powell.
Nice. Oh, fuck. He was definitely in the running.
Yeah. Number 4 is Ashley Wood.
Good.
Yeah.
Number 3, who did I have for number 3? Number 3 was, hold on, sorry. Sam Keith.
Of course.
And number 2, Darwin Cook. And number 1, Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh, man.
Nice.
That's a
Man,
solid
that's a
list.
solid list.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it'll go Ashley next, and we'll go into the next topic after that, all right?
He didn't do the homework.
You know, for like 2 seconds, I was kind of like, wait, where's he going with this?
Ed, so for each artist, what do you think, in your opinion, is their most, would be a body of work that you would recommend to someone? Or maybe like that represents their style the best?
Let's see, for Eric Powell, definitely The Goon is probably what he's most associated with. But the thing that kind of got me like fully on board to where he kind of jumped up the list was this little series called Big Man Plans, which is basically like a 70s grindhouse thing about like it's a total revenge story, kind of like we were talking about earlier, where he comes back to his town where he was pretty much abused growing up. He's like a dwarf, and then he goes into the military.
I heard about this.
Dude, I got it if you want to look at it.
Oh, shit.
It's
Yes.
dude, it's
oh,
intense.
yes.
His facial expressions, like his technique, the painterly style he does, it's just fantastic work. And
He's kind of Mark Schultzy.
yeah, and his stuff just like on the comic book shelves, his stuff just pops out. As far as Ashley Wood, he's probably one of the guys that kind of got me back into comics in the probably early 2000s. He's he doesn't have a big body of work, but his main, he started doing like the Hellspawn series. So it looked like very painterly, very cool.
I'm sorry.
It's funny that Ashley Wood made your list and Bill Sienkiewicz is on it too, because they both kind of have that sort of abstract, weird.
And that's the thing with me. It's like I like all the classic guys, but for me growing up and as a kid, like especially Bill and Ashley Wood, just like, oh wow, this is completely different. This is 1,000% different.
Did Ashley Wood do all the Metal Gear Solid stuff?
He did, and he worked for he actually and he worked with Konami and did the Metal Gear Solid series for IDW.
Yep.
And then after that, he just kind of created his own toy company. And I mean, so he's kind of, and he's pretty much does gallery stuff now. He's like a fine art in the fine art world.
Yeah,
so,
I was just about to say, like, his Metal Gear Solid stuff to me pushed, it didn't feel like reading a traditional comic book in the traditional sense. It was like a collection of fine art pieces that he managed to tell a coherent story.
Yeah. So the two is like, I was like, kind of on the fence about putting both of them on. I knew Sienkiewicz was definitely going to be on because he has a longer influence.
Right.
What makes Sienkiewicz your number one?
Number one is because when I was a kid, I would, you'd read comics and they all kind of have a similar look to them. And then I saw like an ad for Electra Assassin, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I saw that and it was like an airbrushed, painted, like really like, what? This looks different. I've never seen anything like this. And so when I finally got a copy of Electra Assassin as a trade and just seeing like, and you got to keep in mind that during this time, this is like mid 80s. So, the digital stuff was probably at its infancy at best. So he's doing like, Xerox copies, collage work, painting, airbrush, like pencil work. It's like this, it's madness. Just looking at that series for that, with the stuff he did, like Daredevil, Love and War, and Electra Assassin.
Oh, dude, all the shit he did with Warlock.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
And even just like his traditional stuff was different, but then when I saw that Electra Assassin stuff and like, you can do this in a comic? Holy shit. Like every panel I would frame and put on my wall.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I read Daredevil, Love and War not too long, like I think maybe last year. Finally. And I was blown away by that, man. It still holds up.
Yeah. And it's just, it's even today. And like all that stuff is traditional work where a lot of it now you can replicate it digitally with Photoshop, but he's doing this all by hand.
Yeah. Analog completely.
Yeah. Complete analog.
He's the guy that he doesn't get the literal anatomy right, but he gets the tonal anatomy right. 100%. Yeah.
And that's like what I think a lot of the 90s guys took, where it's like their anatomy, like say a McFarlane, maybe off, even Liefeld, to give him credit, but that energy is there and it makes up for it.
He's the Picasso of comics.
Yeah. So that, that's why he had the most impact on me, just saying that, I don't have to draw like, Jim Lee, or I can do something completely different.
Thank God.
Jesus Christ. You don't have to draw like Kirby or something, you can actually totally break all these rules and make a piece of art and kind of transcends comics into like should be in a museum,
Yeah.
So
belongs in a museum.
Yeah. So he's like my number one.
Well said. Ashley, your top 5.
All right. I don't have mine in order either.
Do you want to guess what everyone I mentioned the short box. Hey, you can win a hat if you can guess Ashley's list.
Jeff Lemire.
Yeah, Jeff Lemire.
Yeah.
The Jeff Lemire jokes were plentiful.
Yes.
So I hope for the sake of someone out there, like Jeff Lemire is on your list somewhere.
No, I did. I went to the comic shop this week and Dave's like, would you be interested in buying the Underwater Welder? And the Jeff Lemire, and I just looked at him and then he started laughing. He's like, I know you hate Jeff Lemire.
I'm so happy that joke took off.
I was like, who told you?
Makes me so happy.
So, all right, I have Bill Sienkiewicz on my list too.
Yeah.
It was one of the Electra covers. I remember that was the first time I ever bought a book for the cover. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And Bernie, of course.
Right on.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
That's damn.
So Bernie, of course, was on there. Bill, Tula Lotay is one of my favorites.
Huh.
She's done tons of covers. She did that Supreme Blue Rose book with Lauren Ellis.
Yes.
And she's like an Ashley Wood where she's more like fine art where every panel you could just enlarge it and put it on your wall as a poster. It's just fantastic. I love it so much. She did another book called Rebels, and then she did a one shot. She's amazing. She did like a Poison Ivy one shot.
She did the Florence Pugh from Midsummer.
She does so much stuff. She's amazing.
Oh.
And who else is on here? Oh, Mike Mignola.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it was hard. It was real hard.
It was. I keep thinking about the comics that make me happy, and I keep thinking of like Hellboy's face, like Hellboy's expressions. That just makes me so happy to read comics. Like his art just brings me joy. And my last one was kind of hard. I had like a bunch of runners up, and I also don't have Alex Ross on this list, and I know I thought, but he's amazing, but he didn't make the list. The last spot is going to Yannick Paquette.
Oh God,
man, he's good.
Yeah, Batman Incorporated, freaking Swamp Thing. Yeah,
the Wonder Woman
Wonder
graphic
Woman,
novel.
Earth One.
Yeah, Earth One.
It's beautiful. Like his panel layouts, how it's like a piece of artwork, and it's so clean.
and he's got a cool name.
He does have a cool
real.
name.
Sounds like he'd be in Ghostbusters too.
I spent an afternoon practicing that name.
Yeah, he's really cool. The last time I went to Heroes, there was a panel with him, and
God damn it, you know him too?
well,
Yeah.
no, he did a
had some
whole
drinks
panel
afterwards at the bar.
about like horror movies and stuff, and it was just so cool. And he used to be something with insects. I forget what that's called.
Ornithologist.
Yeah, something like that. And so he's talking about how he bases his creatures on insects that he knows about.
Gross.
Huh.
It's like, that is so
Wow.
cool.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
and
I didn't know that. That's sweet.
He's
Damn,
the
that
kid.
is a
He's the
solid-
kid with a magnifying
knew-
glass burning
Yeah.
ants.
Yeah.
In the backyard.
I feel like everyone listening is like, yeah, I probably wouldn't have guessed any of those. Like, that's a solid, diverse line. I don't think I've ever heard any of those names on someone's top 5. That was a really good list,
Mignola?
actually.
It's hard. I don't even know if I would classify mine as a top 5. I would say
Top 5 right now, you know?
No, seriously, because
This could
we
change
we could do
day to
this
day.
again
Yeah.
and just be like, yeah, here are some more that are freaking good. Because
Yeah.
Raphael Albuquerque is a new guy that's like I really enjoy.
That's
what
the thing
he's
too,
doing,
because there's
you
a
know?
lot of
like,
contemporary guys I like, but
Yeah.
I got to go with what I grew up with.
Absolutely,
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's
whatever's
so
home for
that's
you.
why I set that criteria. It's
Yeah.
like, well, okay, I got to set. Otherwise, this list would never
Right.
get done.
Right.
So I did something similar that you did, Ed. I just kind of like had a stream of consciousness. I just wrote down a bunch of names, and then I tried to, okay, who would be in this tier? Who would be in this tier? And I think my list comes a lot from just personal, like just growing up and the artists that had impacts or the ones that influenced me that to want to try to draw comic books or just, you know,
Or
I can.
try to take other people's art and pass it off like I drew them as comic
And
books
tell that person to their face,
to their face. Hey, look at this book I drew.
I stole this from you, bro.
Yo, you want your artwork back?
Hey, bro. Thanks for the drawing, bro.
So,
Hashtag bought or killed Darwin.
so my list comes from a whoa, dude, no, don't like that. What are you doing?
Pull your pants up.
Those jokes are reserved for Ashley. Those are the rumors we want spreading. Not me. Damn. So my list is a very personal, you know, tied to childhood memories and you know, falling in love with comic books. And I think to everyone's point, in about a month or two, it could change. Depending on the next artist
I think in
spotlight,
about a
it'll
minute or
probably
two,
change.
it did change. Like we were talking, and I
Yeah.
saw Barter like, let me just quick remove, add.
Okay. This is my top 5. I did
As of today,
as of Sunday, August 16th, 1:53 p.m.
2 minutes
Eastern
ago.
Time.
What?
There's like all these revisions. But anyways, here are my top 5 at the moment, right? And I tried to number it. So here we go.
Yo, your list is trash, son.
At number 5, and I could hear it now, man. I can see the DMs right now. You had who? At number 5, I had a tie. All right. I'm sorry. I know it's a little cheating, but
I mean,
don't
I
give
did
a
it
shit.
too, but look,
I
he's
don't
even
care.
biting off of
I
my
don't.
thing.
No, man, you went first. Number 5,
That's usually how that goes.
tied to me is John Romita Sr. and Mark Bagley.
Ramita.
Ramita, yeah. John Romita Jr. Sr. and Mark Bagley.
Yeah.
Because
Spider-Man wanker.
to me they are the quintessential Spider-Man artist. I think they're both a
Yeah,
product.
no, I'll go there with you.
I think they're both a product of their times, and it's noticeable when you look at, say, especially Mark Bagley. I think.
Oh, dude, everybody had the cards, man. Those
Yeah.
Spider-Man cards.
For sure. Look, when I got into Spider-Man, the David Michelin and Mark Bagley series was like my bread and butter. I mean, those to me are my all-time favorites. Damn. In addition to the John Romita Sr. Spider-Man, like they both, especially Romita Sr. I mean, he's responsible for drawing some of the most iconic issues of Spider-Man.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And when you think about, and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about are Adams, and I noticed that was kind of a commonality among my list is that I really like artists that have established themselves in
With
a
Marvel. What? What happened?
Touche. That was good. That was good. I thought about that joke ahead too. Don't worry. But I think my list favors artists who have that long body of work. And I mean, when you think of Romita Sr. and Bagley, I think just Spider-Man to me, the way they draw it is just it's just iconic.
Yeah, they're like the templates for everyone else, for sure.
Jack Kirby. Number 4. I mean,
I'm noticing a trend.
That is an easy. Oh, look, the trend.
Stan Lee's on this list. That's weird.
Somehow Stan Lee. You know, I drew 2 true believer.
1 through 3, Stan Lee.
Jack Kirby shouldn't. That should be no surprise. I will admit, my love of Jack Kirby came much later in life.
That's fair. You weren't born in the 60s.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like I wanted to do something. I kind of grew up with, or was available. So it's like that's more like a historical significance than my personal top 5.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, and I mean, I grew up getting into comic books via Marvel. Like that was all that was at the house.
Hey, man,
so a lot of these artists,
nobody's really coming down on you for this.
But I've got. Don't worry, I got an honorary mention. But anyways, Jack Kirby, and I will go ahead and say that I think my favorite bodies of work from him are the Journey into Mystery Thors, as well as the New Gods. I think between those two,
so he does DC.
Yeah, it was like a concession, though, right? Like it wasn't like a
no.
I didn't say the Eternals.
Right.
You said,
right.
Yeah, I could have. I thought about it. God damn it! But I feel like his work on New Gods might be the best example of like why he's a legend.
Like
I think he was really pushing things when he got to New Gods. I mean, it was his baby. It was
before it
his
belonged
creation.
to anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. His Thor stuff, though, his early Thor stuff is just so bombastic, and some of those covers. I mean, the one of him and Hercules on the cover, or his battle. There's an issue of him and the Hulk. I mean, those mid to late 1960s Journey to Mystery Thor comics are just amazing stuff to look at even now. Alex Ross for number 3. Because every time I look at his work, I feel like I'm looking at history or cultural artifacts when it comes to comic books. And I'll point to his work with Marvels and Kingdom Come. I think prior to reading those, I just had never. Well, I did see his work in like Toonami. I think Toonami had a little short that they highlighted his work. So that was my first unconscious exposure. But reading Marvels and Kingdom Come, I had never read a comic book with art that like just hyper realistic, and it just had a impact and impression on me. It really kind of made them feel larger and real. What is that? That was number 3. Wait, my math is so bad. 1, 2, 3.
So's your English.
All right, Jack Kirby was number 5. Alex Ross was 4. John Buscema is number 3 because he just defines Marvel house style to me. I mean, he literally wrote the book on how to draw Marvel comics. I think he is an artist whose technical prowess is respected by several generations. He's the one artist that me and my pops agree is like just he's got the nickname the Michelangelo of comic book art for a reason.
Yeah, because Stan Lee said he was the Michelangelo of comic books.
Were we supposed to do a Marvel top 5 artists?
I don't know. Seems pretty slanted. Seems pretty slanted.
Like I said in the beginning, I ain't trying to impress no one.
Hold on.
Don't argue with me.
It's true.
Don't at me.
This is a perfect distillation of Botter's childhood. Is that the house of ideas? The glass house of ideas right now was the only house of ideas in his house for the most part. So I'm not surprised. It makes sense.
And let's be honest. These artists I'm naming ain't slacks. I mean, John Buscema, come on.
Yeah, of course.
They're great.
Yeah, absurd,
Wait, what you saying?
You're doing great. You're doing great, buddy.
It's not like Bernie Wrightson was doing anything at that point in time for another company.
You're doing great, buddy.
Thank you.
Good
I
job.
appreciate it. I appreciate
Good job.
it. Anyways, I'll recommend his Avengers run of Roy Thomas from the late 60s.
Co-sign on that.
His Silver Surfer run of Stan Lee, number 1 through 18. His Conan. Hell, his Wolverine.
That's awesome.
His Conan stuff is, I especially the black and white stuff. I preferred that personally. And then his Wolverine run from 1988 with Claremont. Those early Wolverines are awesome. Number 2 is Andy Kubert. One of the more dominant memories
The
of
Michael Jordan of comic
Yeah,
books.
for sure.
well, according to Drew, but
No, don't walk it back. Do not walk it back. That's just whack.
kind of getting
It's
into
weird that
it.
Michael Jordan just made number 2. It's interesting.
Well, I didn't. That wasn't my number 2 for the record. Or I mean, he wasn't my Michael Jordan.
I know. I
for
just thought that was
Hashtag not my Michael.
It's just such a ridiculous.
one of
statement.
my more dominant memories when it came to starting my comic journey was Captain America #9 from the 1998 series that Mark Waid was drawing. Andy Kubert and did that as well as like a Kazar run, a Thor run. I just think he's a master.
Of course, a Kubert doing Kazar is going to happen. You know, considering fucking his dad invented that shit. You know, like if it's wearing a thong and there's a dinosaur in it, it's fucking Joe Kubert.
Yes.
It belongs to him.
It's fantastic too.
I'm gonna change my top 5.
Pretty damn good. I think Kubert is great at anatomy. He can draw really good action scenes. His figure drawing is spectacular. Yeah. I think his range from drawing, you know, like small panels to giant splash pages.
I believe he was going to be like a medical illustrator before he became.
Makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
What do you think of Sergio Cariello? Do you know who he is? Mm-mm. He's a Brazilian artist. He's really good. He basically is like Joe Kubert, like not Andy or Adam, like Joe.
Okay. I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
You have to show me
I'll
afterwards.
slide it into your DMs.
Sounds good. But I think Andy Kubert, just his portfolio, he's not an artist that's done groundbreaking, you know, changed the medium or has an art style that can't be, you know, mimicked or
True.
whatnot.
Yep, period.
But to me, he's just consistent. He's really fucking good at what he does.
He's been around a long time, and I throw him a bone.
No. I still get excited when I see Andy Kubert's art. I mean, and his consistency has lasted from the 90s to now. Yeah. Like, I mean, shit, he just did Flashpoint. What was another one he just did?
I mean, that was like 10 years ago.
No, damn it. Damn it. He did something just recently. I mean, Flashpoint is one that comes to mind. So whether it's DC or Marvel or even like the Batman and Predator stuff from back in the day, it just consistently good. And I think I just really enjoy consistent, tight pencil work. And I mean, I think that's a commonality between all of my lists. Because my next one is
consistently Marvel type pencil work.
Jim Lee rounds it out at number 1. To me, I think he's still my personal favorite.
From his Wildcats one, right? That's
his Wildcat stuff is fucking.
But that's
solid.
what you mean,
like,
right? Like,
no, just
first
the
in your heart is
what
Wildcats.
else has he done?
I don't know. I don't know. All-Star Batman and Robin.
Oh, it does look good.
Yeah, it looks great.
The writing is
leaves a little to be desired.
For me, my two
eating rats
go-tos for Jim Lee are usually Batman, Hush. And then his 90s
really
X-Men stuff, man. And even like his early
Do you like
Punisher
the Hush
stuff
more than the X-Men stuff?
Ooh.
Answer.
Damn it.
Gun to your head.
I think Hush is more mature work.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, Jim Lee had nothing to do with the story of either of those things.
No, I know.
So
I know,
visually
I know.
speaking,
Batman, Hush.
Okay.
Final answer. Because to Ed's point, I think that was like top of his fucking game.
He's at the top of his game.
That was
Scott Williams
like,
wasn't saving his ass.
That was almost like his comeback, like to comics, because he was working in after he sold Wildstorm.
It might as well have been fucking Jim Lee swinging on a rope on the first like Batman issue.
He's like, I can still do this.
I can fucking do it.
Honorable mentions for me. Todd McFarlane.
What the fuck?
Hey, look.
Come on, man.
Y'all didn't do the legwork, all right? I'm here for extra
I
credit.
can do honorable mentions.
Hold on.
We got 45
on legwork. Ed literally wrote 20 names on a notebook pad.
I totally said that.
So did I.
Hey, what? Name some honorable mentions, Ed.
Yeah, no.
I was going to open it up to everyone. You guys didn't let me get to it. Y'all didn't let me get to it.
No.
Here, I'll give mine, and then you guys just real quick. I had
3 hours long.
I had Todd McFarlane, Akira Toriyama, Brian
Somebody
Bullard.
cut him off.
Brian Bullard, Paula Rivera, and Adam Hughes.
Brian Boland?
Is it Boland? Man, there's no R in there. Yo, for real, there ain't no R in there.
There's no
that's
R.
crazy.
What the fuck?
Sure? Because I think my copy had an ice cream. I must have got a misprint,
Yeah.
Anyways,
wow.
Those are
every copy of a Brian Boland.
But nah, Brian Boland, Todd McFarlane, Akira Toriyama, Paula Rivera, Adam Hughes.
We sweated blood for you, and you do this honorable mention shit.
I mean,
We were sweating blood.
Could have given a little more. I'm just a good list.
We were like, hey,
Ashley,
good list.
you really
No,
good list.
we had
Ashley,
honorable
you really-
mentions. That was the problem.
We all had honorable
All right, well, give me your honorable mentions.
No,
All right, well, Cesar.
I don't want to now.
Fails.
too good.
Ashley, who are your honorable mentions?
Oh, we're back at school again. Gonna put me in detention.
Go to the office right now.
All right, Alex Ross, Fiona Staples,
Bam.
Sean Murphy, Darwin Cook.
Ooh,
I had a
shit.
list.
Nice. Okay. All right, Ed.
I'm going to go Sean Murphy as well.
Yep.
Fiona Staples. Someone new.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I feel like doing. You upset
You don't
me.
get my best.
Okay, good. I
You
didn't
don't
want
like
it.
me at my top 5. You don't deserve me. You don't deserve me at my honorable mentions.
All right, fair enough. All right, cool.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Raphael
One more.
Albuquerque.
I wanted to do one. I was really struggling,
all right. Hit it.
but Richard Corbin was very close.
Damn.
Jean-Gerard Mobius.
Yeah.
Freaking.
See, guys that are like so good.
Yeah. Like, it's like
this
there's
is
a fuck ton.
Yeah, it's those guys almost are like next
P.
level.
Craig Russell.
Yeah. See, I didn't want to name the easy ones. You know, it's
Jeff
like
Jarrett.
It seems like it
personal.
did. Seems
No,
like it did.
personal. I just wanted like the personal one. If y'all want my artsy one,
You know
I
what I
can give
like?
you the artsy
I
one,
like
but not right now.
His top 5 were like all like House of Idea Marvel artists, and then like his honorable mentions, the bonus features on his fucking DVD was like Todd McFarlane, the fucking Akira Toriyama. I'll give him a fucking.
Almost
thingy.
did Junji Ito just to mix it up.
Yeah,
For the record,
he's definitely there.
Yeah.
you know, I don't even feel like debating. I that is my fucking list, and I stand by it. Quick question: did you guys notice any maybe commonality across your list, or did you look at your list in a way like, oh damn, okay, there's a common thread I'm seeing here?
Most of mine aren't
this
working anymore.
I was gonna say mine are dead or not working.
Well, I mean,
There's like what C mentioned, the Ashley Wood, Sienkiewicz.
Yep.
I think most of mine are just like untraditional as far as besides Darwin Cook.
what was that?
I farted.
What was that?
Gross. But yeah,
My phone is
Darwin
broken.
Cook is probably the only, I guess, traditional, but he's even almost like
I
a
was gonna say Bruce Timm,
Silver Age
Oh, yeah.
throwback. Yeah, Bruce Timm was
but he's basically Bernie Wrightson, just light, like
Yeah.
diet.
because like with Darwin Cook, it's crazy because his career is like almost backwards because he basically went into animation and then kind of filtered his way back down into comics where most people kind of move on from comics to do animation because
Right.
he did the Batman Beyond intro, which is badass. So his career started like a lot later than like a traditional, at least people on my list, they didn't just start young and kind of evolve over the years.
I always loved that intro because it always made me laugh when I saw like the kids dancing in the club.
Yeah.
And it looked good. Like I was like, does everybody listen to shitty techno in the future?
Yep.
God damn, no wonder that's a Gotham City's
And-
evil
and the
place.
Dude,
Thing
and
is,
dance
he
like
did
some
that-
worms.
He did that separate from the studio. He did that on his own.
That's awesome.
He like put that sequence together. So
Yeah.
he's done a lot of cool stuff. His career, like I said, was fairly short for his age because he kind of went from animation back down into comics from advertising. So, but yeah, he's like the only, I guess, traditional style, but he's still like a throwback and very stylistic as well.
Ashley, do you follow any of the artists you had in your list on like social media?
I actually,
Bill's
Yeah.
a good Twitter follower.
Yeah, and that's what
Sienkiewicz,
made me think of that.
Yeah,
'cause he's got
every-
a solid.
everyone but Bernie. I follow.
Does he have a Twitter?
He's got a
No.
Facebook, and his wife actually.
like an estate.
Of course, I know the answer to this one. His wife actually just put out that they are reissuing the Frankenstein
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have
the
that.
on hardback.
I have
Like,
it signed by Bernie.
You son of a bitch! Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Yo, stunt on them,
Wait, did
Ashley.
you get one? I think you went with me to that panel with Steve Niles.
Yeah.
Steve, of course, Steve Dials.
That's
that
when
guy's
they were
funny.
super buddies. Yeah, I got
had-
my Spider-Man hooky signed by him.
So I've got.
Ooh,
I have a Dead She Said
Yeah, what do
signed
you
by
got?
him. And I have 2. First off, one of them you should know what I have because you
Nah, I
actually
know.
got him to sign it to me personally.
yeah, I mean,
it's
you
the
know,
print,
you
right?
know, I
Yeah.
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
friend here.
Swamp Thing
you know,
print.
good friend of the,
And the other one, I got another print signed to me, and it's his Frankenstein like print. But that book would be. I have it. The Dark Horse one, the hardback one. That's like you
Yeah.
could kill somebody with it.
Yeah.
How much is this reissue? Like $200?
Probably not. Probably like cheap. Actually, cheaper because it was like the first one like still out there, and now it's like this one's. It looks a little smaller.
Oh, okay.
Like not by much though. Like the big one is like a huge coffee table.
Yeah.
Anyway, buy it if you love Bernie Wrightson.
I'm gonna have a new list in about a month. Yeah, this might be a monthly thing. Okay, no, I like it. All right, no, some good lists, guys. I'm really proud of what you guys brought to the table.
I'm going to kill myself.
I will encourage anyone listening.
Kill myself?
No.
Wow.
I'm
What
sorry.
the
Whoa,
fuck?
sorry. No.
Oh man.
I
You're
will,
like, no, but seriously, he pulls his pants down. How are you going to do it?
when's that new violent ASMR coming out? I will encourage anyone listening to send in their top 5 favorite comic book artists. I'd be curious to
We
see.
will pretend to care.
I'll definitely care
Wow.
because I love our fans. Maybe not C.
Wow, that's
but
not a genuine.
I would.
Wow, that's a real genuine.
I am curious. To
I am
hear
the only one that loves you, fans.
some
not Botter, ever.
master molds.
Never. Ooh,
I will encourage. Hey, what are we doing right
This
now?
plays
Damn
into
it,
my
I just want to go
champion.
ahead. Like I said,
We're never going to break.
I'd be curious to hear some of our listeners' top 5 favorite artists and what type of lists are out there. So shoot us an email. Let us know your top 5. We'll read it next episode. Moving on, because it is getting close to break time, but I wanted to talk about the week that DC has been having.
Probably a good week, right?
You're fired.
Yeah.
Everyone's fired.
Right?
No, I don't ever champion.
Except for you,
job
Jim
loss.
Lee. You're in charge now.
Yeah, I had a comment about it. I was like, huh, okay.
You're
So for those maybe not in the
You're
know,
king of shit mountain now. Jim Lee.
for those
Long live the king.
for those not in the know, Monday, Warner Media had some massive.
Sad because it's true.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they had some massive layoffs.
Thanks, Obama.
And so let me see. I'm looking at this Hollywood Reporter article. So Monday, massive layoffs from Warner Media. There's about 600 of them, and it was across the enterprise. But from a comic book perspective, they laid off quite a number of editorial and kind of like that higher level. It wasn't like a bunch of writers and artists losing their jobs.
Well, most of those are like freelancers anyway, so you
Yeah.
can't really
Yeah, you
fire
can't-
someone who's
exactly.
contracted unless
Well, so
What is this, Marvel in the 90s?
So what I was able to find is that they ended up firing their editor-in-chief, and this is all kind of comic book related, Bob Harris, their senior VP of Publishing Strategy and Supporting Services, VP of Marketing and Creative Services, VP of Global Publishing Initiatives and Digital Strategy, as well as, this one kind of caught me a little bit by surprise, but their senior story editor, who's Brian Cunningham, and executive editor Mark Doyle, who oversaw the rollout of the Black Label graphic novels. Now, I thought the Black Label was a really good idea, and I want to say it's been performing really well because every time I go in the shop, there seems to be a new Black Label. They're usually
that doesn't
sold
matter
out.
when they cut people like this.
Yeah, yeah. I guess at that top level.
They're just looking at numbers. You got to understand this is a new company, AT&T, that's looking at numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in the creative field. They're kind of adjusting to this new acquisition.
Yeah.
Oh, my
so
God.
they're just looking at numbers like Office Space.
Yeah, who can I get rid of?
Getting paid for? Okay.
Vader choking
So, yeah.
out people.
Like Bob Harris, he's been there forever.
Dude,
Dude.
a long time.
He's probably making a nice penny. They're like, okay, why is this guy?
Yeah.
And
And I think it also
They're the
comes
Bobs from Office Space.
yeah, the Bobs.
to. I think it also comes down to who.
Looks like you've been missing work there, Bob.
Who can we replace with one of our guys that follows like our
Oh, yeah.
message or whatnot? But I think the math ended up being like 1/3 of DC's
And
editorials.
Jim Lee,
were
Game of
laid off.
Thrones, just working his way up to the top.
Oh, dude.
The
how,
Dio right in the
ready.
back.
how much is that?
Hey, dude, Jim.
How much is that?
Shot him with a
Lee's-
crossbow while he's taking a dump.
Oh,
Dude, well,
he's got
how
a
much-
calzone in his hand.
How much of that do you think is Lee's doing rather than them looking at Lee like we can't get rid of our spokesman like like what
Spokesman?
Lee kind of like imagine trying to
whoa.
fire Jim Lee
Yeah,
like
no, hold
the
on, hold
biggest
on.
one of the biggest comic book artists of all time.
For the 90s. For the 90s. He was
Shit, even
big.
to, like
Hold
today.
on,
But
hold
go- all
on,
right, go
hold
ahead,
on.
go ahead.
He did, like Ed said, they don't care. It's all about money. Money-wise, what has Jim Lee done? Well, he pioneered a failed comic book company. Sorry, it failed.
He still sold it to DC.
Good.
I don't know how much of
Yeah,
a failure
because
that is
it was
to bet
failing.
on that.
Wildstorm was going down the shitter.
Sure.
And
I'll let you keep going.
you don't have to. History has let me have that. That's what happened. It was
Ask
going
Alan
down the
Moore how
shitter.
he liked
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah.
It's like, come work for me, Alan Moore. It's like, sure.
Right.
So if it's a
So,
money
like,
thing, why not
so-
get rid of Jim Lee then?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Like there's no logic behind this. They don't hold
Yeah.
on to people or let go of people for a logical reason. It just seems like they have no idea why people are important.
And he might be the people.
And they're just-
the guy
Wait,
that they-
And he just seemed to be like-
you think they made these decisions willy nilly without like a direction or purpose?
Sounds like supervisors. Sounds like
I-
supervision. Supervision really
You ever had a
doesn't
job
have,
before?
Yeah, have you
Yes,
not worked in the private sector? Like, people don't give a shit.
I don't think
We live in a right to work state.
I don't
That shit
think
happens.
I don't think they just
Hey, you're fired. Why?
No. I'm just saying the idea is these people, if they have someone in the wings that they want to bring on, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll just be like, bye, new guy, you take his spot because we like you better.
And Jim Lee might be the name that they know and recognize.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And he could be like pretty much he's the figurehead.
Which is odd because why? No real relevancy in a while. Let's be honest.
How is that? How is Jim Lee not relevant to a comic book company? Like,
Okay, aside from his name, what does he put out?
he don't
recently?
he don't need to put on
What
it.
is
The
he-
name
what is-
alone. It's the
What-
name
now,
recognition.
now I'm the fucking industry corporate guy. What is he doing? Give me something. What is he producing
Why is
right
he-
now?
He is a publisher now. He's not actively
He
dropping
is an
books.
image.
He's above that.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, he's
I mean,
above that.
I wouldn't say he's a publisher. You'd have to,
He literally
succeed.
has the title of publisher.
You'd have
Like,
to
no, he's
succeed
not
at it.
putting out work. Like, he's overseeing.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Anyway, let me keep it going. Why this?
I just wanted to get Botter to defend
Oh
DC.
man, talk about his number one like
God.
that.
The Michael Jordan of DC.
the Michael Jordan. Wait, definitely. I think you got that title easy. But
Wow.
of DC, yeah.
Like,
It's
oh, I
like,
get
who
the
else?
title
Who else the fuck else?
easy.
So look, DC ends up losing 1/3 of their editorial. This was actually really funny but heartbreaking. A majority of the staff of the streaming service DC Universe has been laid off.
Theory is true.
And you know what? I was like,
Bye, guys.
shit, I sent in that fucking like
Those people
text-
knew.
I paid for the year.
I
paid
bastard.
My friend was like that. I paid for the year. God damn
Look,
it.
they had fucking their boxes
He
like
said, I'm
of all
saving
their
money.
personal belongings on their desk. They were just waiting for the call. They're just kind of like, well, today's the day.
yeah, they're waiting.
All right.
Actually, I think a quote from someone working in DC Universe was, "Yeah, this shit was dead in the water when HBO Max like launched." It's not surprising, but the surprising one that I was like, "Oh, damn, really?" DC Direct, their in-house merchandise and collectibles manufacturer, also took a hit. They've been around for like 22 years.
Todd McFarlane got his money before they left too. Like he was just kind of like, "Oh, you guys pay me up front for my designs of the Batman figures?
Well-
Cool, thanks."
Speaking of McFarlane, it sounds like DC's plan when it comes to replace DC Direct, instead of having an in-house merchandise and collectible,
They're going to
arm.
contract that shit out.
Exactly.
Of
Because it's
course.
like
Just like their comics market. Licensing. The money's in licensing, not production.
the editorial part is important to note because when you know what an editor, especially an AIC, does. And for those maybe that need a little more background, I mean, an editor for the most part is the supervisor. They're the manager, they're the coordinator. They set deadlines. They make the initial assignments to writers. They receive the script, they read it over, make sure it's up to par. But they also do a lot of other things like stay on top of vouchers from the creative team, right? Of solicitation.
They're the
information.
rudder of the ship.
Yeah.
They steer it in the right direction, and though they may seem small and not do a lot of the creative work, they steer it. They are responsible for where the ship goes. They chart the course and all that stuff. The money people just make sure they don't have to micromanage. So
Yeah.
Stan Lee used to be an editor-in-chief. It just so happened he was also really good at being the face man.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up Stan Lee and being the
bet you
face
are.
man because
So happy.
I think we all ended up reading the same Hollywood Reporter where Jim Lee is being interviewed and he's kind of dispelling a lot of these rumors that started really circulating after the layoff. And a Hollywood Reporter ends up asking him a lot of things like, well, what does this mean for comic books? Are you guys still going to be publishing? Because I think the rumors have been things like DC will no longer put out comics. What was another one I kept seeing? Marvel was going to buy them out and distribute their comics
Jesus
and et
Christ.
cetera.
Oh,
Which he put them all to rest. And, I think
Right.
that the main quote he said,
HBO Max will be putting out comics.
AT&T.
we are still in the business
AT&T Comics.
of publishing comic books. It's really what Lee's overall message was. But
Mr. Lee, why does AT&T hate comics?
Just reach out and touch someone, Timmy.
damn,
I don't make enough money.
it's
Timmy.
like, damn, Lee is... I'm still quite unsure what the role publisher. I'm sure it's something to do with like
Fall Guy,
similar like EIC, but spokes. I'm like, damn, man, Jim Lee is in a position to be the spokesperson for DC Comics. Like,
I don't envy his position.
Yeah, he's not a good spokesperson.
he lacks the charisma, man. Like he's almost
a
too
goober.
clean.
He's a goober. You see pictures of him in the 90s? He wore, when he was working on X-Men, he wore a Malcolm X hat because it had an X on it. Dumbass motherfucker.
I remember.
You are so out of touch with the fucking culture. Yeah, X. Yeah, I don't think that means what you think it means, Jim. Sorry. Go back to drawing Psylocke, you idiot. Rant?
Wow.
Accomplished.
No, I had something for that. I just.
Do you guys not remember that? The pictures in Wizard when it was like top
now
10
I do.
artists, and he had the
blocked
fucking
it out of my
Malcolm X
memory.
hat, and I was always like,
No.
I had no idea.
Big goofy grin.
Jim Lee was like down with the cause, man. That's fucking awesome. And then you just realize he just had it because it was fucking, I like X-Men. And Chris Claremont's like right next to him like, you motherfucker. You fucking piece of shit.
Don't you know what this book is about? You
You
stupid
ass. Where's Scott LaBelle? I want to punch him too.
I think the dynamic from what I was seeing on Monday when the news came out with the layoffs and some of the discussions I've seen on various like discussion boards and posts, and then Jim Lee's interview coming out and the message and the tone behind that. Monday was very gloom and doom. Like, shit, what is
This
the
is like damage control.
Yeah, what is the future of DC? Then you read Jim Lee's response, and it comes off very much like, this is just like any
business as usual.
Yeah, business as usual.
Yeah.
When a big
Fire
corporation merges, takes over
Half of your staff.
It's just
In
the
a big
timing.
corporate takeover.
The timing was also very interesting because next Saturday is DC's Fandom, which is that 24-hour kind of big virtual. It's kind of like a convention, their version of a convention.
They make you sign in to watch it.
Let me go through this real quick and we can move on. But I did like that he brought up from operational side, from comic book side, he did address the earlier this year. DC made the announcement we're leaving Diamond. We're going to be using our own distributors. I think it's called Lunar and UCS is the other one. I have heard they have been doing really well in comparison to Diamond, which is a pretty low bar.
Do you care about this shit?
I mean, I'm listening to it, but I not so much.
Yeah.
Well, I guess let me ask this: does anyone here actively collect any DC comics?
Fuck no.
I am collecting
trying to
like
think
Death
if I
Metal.
do.
They're gonna do what? Fucking Dark Knight's Metal Part 2? Sweet. Okay.
Part 2, part 100.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
been going on for like 3 years now. Jesus Christ.
But nah, it's the
I
answer
don't
to
think
that.
wait, Strange Adventures?
Yeah, that's
I think that's
that's a
it.
Black Label book.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying. I
yeah.
think the Black Label stuff
got a
from DC
couple
is
of
fantastic, but I'm not.
The Joe King Black Label stuff, but never really continued. I just got one issue and like,
I'm glad.
Would you guys cry if you didn't have it in your life?
I wouldn't cry.
I'd be sad for other people.
Well, right.
I wouldn't.
Right.
Welcome.
They'll get work with Todd.
Yeah.
Uncle Todd's here. He's always ready. Come on over.
Come, my children.
Come.
He sounds like Lorne Michaels.
He does address their plans to leverage more of the digital comic side as well as more of a global approach.
Yeah, I'll
which
tell you right now, Jim Lee's probably going to get canned. He's the fucking fall guy. And Todd's going to be like, you flew too high, Icarus. But we'll take you back. You flew too high.
You can clean my ink brushes.
Come back. Scott Williams is actually with us, and he basically says you can, lick his boots.
All right, well, we can move on. I'll just record a little solo one. Just me reading off this article in peace. No one cares. It's fine. What about the New Mutants being in theaters August 28th?
Who cares about that shit either? We don't know if it's going to be good.
I'm kind of
My voice is
willing to check this out.
I'm definitely going to see it.
Well, that's why. That's why I bring it up because apparently it is the New Mutants movie is still on track to be released in theaters August 28th. I think they're really emphasizing the IMAX, version of it.
It's how they're going to release the X gene. Coronavirus is just it's a fucking
the carrier. The carrier.
Yeah, we're going to be like everyone's
Going
going
to sit on a seat. It's like a hypodermic needle.
Well, this movie, I think last time we checked it, it's been promoted since like 2017 or 2018.
Dude, it was
I think 2018 is when they said, "Hey, this is when it's going to be in theaters."
2011.
If you know that
If you
the
knew
theater
no
is
one would
taking
call
the,
you out on it, would you go?
No, I'm saying with theaters taking the theater taking the proper precautions, whether that be limiting the attendance, having people separated, having plexiglass, I've seen at restaurants.
We're fucking around. We've clearly destroyed any sort of COVID prerogatives. We're all in the same room together.
Yeah, coughing on each other.
Yeah, we still go to different places throughout the week, then agree to meet back in this same place.
Yeah,
this is a festering thing. The legacy virus is probably in here, man.
Petri Dish Studios.
Oh, that's the title of this fucking episode.
Not at all.
Good job.
Not at all. Anyways,
Petri Dish Studios.
Ashley, would you go see this movie?
I kind of want to. I want to see
I wanna see
Demon
it.
Bear Huge. I want to, get my Sour Patch Kids. It's been so long. It's been so
Did you
long.
have Sour Patch
And
Kids?
even,
There's some at the gas station. I'll go grab some next time.
and even I saw Dark Phoenix maybe 2 months ago.
she wants to pay $5 for a small
and I still want to go see this movie.
Were you just looking for something just to punish yourself with, watching Dark Phoenix?
I
That's a rough one.
suggested snow caps.
No wonder you liked Hamilton. You just saw Dark Phoenix
I
2 months ago?
You're like,
Yeah.
You needed something.
I'll continue abusing my time. What about you, Ed?
Nah.
You got any plans to see this? Okay.
No, I'll wait.
Damn.
No.
Keep it real, man.
No.
Ed's like, I'm responsible on the show.
I am, if the right setup is promised and encouraged,
Maybe drive in.
I might go.
Maybe drive in.
Your Sunray.
The
What y'all
Sunray's doing that.
August
Yeah, Sunray.
28th.
See that.
See, you want to go see it with me?
Yes. I will make out with you on the mouth and watch
am-
it.
Cut a hole in the popcorn bucket.
I am actually okay not doing that. We can just go see the movie.
All right.
It'd be fun.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I wanted to take advantage of you.
What? Whoa. Honestly, we'll have to talk about that off air. But
Yeah.
because I feel like if you don't go catch it that first weekend, and I'm talking about the movie, not the virus. But I feel like
Already
if you don't,
STD I have, you know what I mean? Eyebrows.
I feel like if you don't catch it that opening weekend, it'll probably be 4 or 5 years before it comes out to
Right,
theaters.
so it's
It'll
like-
keep getting pushed back. See it while you can.
Yeah.
Um,
I definitely want to see it for sure.
It comes on Hulu. It'll be on Hulu, right? Or no?
I've got the commercial-free version. I don't want to watch it like that.
I don't mind. I just have been waiting for this movie forever, and I just want to watch it. And I like Wolfsbane a lot, so the fact they actually cast somebody who could pull it off, and it looks like they're doing it, like every form of Wolfsbane I've seen in the trailer, like full on wolf,
furry,
halfsies
furry
Wolfsbane,
version.
and then regular ass Rain Sinclair just walking around talking to people, being a Scottish stereotype.
I know I talk shit when that first trailer dropped, but these recent ones and all this BTS that I've seen and the panel, man, I'm really excited for this. And this is the last, this is the last X-Men movie, part of the franchise.
So
before,
long as they treat it the same way they treated Logan, right?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
Logan really wasn't a superhero movie. It was a Western, right? Yeah. And if this is basically a psychological thriller and not a superhero movie, they just happen to have powers and all that shit's icing on the cake, it looks like it's going to be really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping for just a solid movie. I did read something that I was like, oh, damn, I didn't even think about that. But
God damn it, you tricked us again, Butter.
what
You
I
had us talk about DC being shitty for 5
I
hours.
tried to give it a serious
and then we were
deep
like,
dive and a little trying to give our,
He's dancing on the
and then I just got who the fuck cares? I'm like, all right,
then we were like,
I don't care neither. Yeah.
you fucking Mephisto over here is pulling the strings.
No.
And then we're like, you know what? I can't wait to see New Mutants. Like an idiot.
You think I sent 5 pages of notes for fun? Actually, it was really fun. This has been the first. I read another article that was outlining this is the first year that we haven't had a superhero movie over the summer. It's just been in the past. I forgot how far back they traced it, but every summer we've had a superhero movie, especially with the rise of the MCU and the DC universe. It was every summer we had a superhero movie to look forward to. This is that one year that is, we didn't really have any movies
It's a nice
for the most
break.
part.
I agree.
No, I agree.
I agree,
It's
too.
been.
It's a nice break.
I'm looking forward to
was getting
the
out of
the
hand.
offerings we are going to get. So we got New Mutants August 28th, which would be end of this month. I think Wonder Woman 1984 is still planned for October, and then Black Widow November. But that might be the one I'll just wait for it on.
Really?
Yeah. I guess for me, I'm still kind of I got everything I needed
So
from
at
Endgame.
first I was kind of like that. At first.
And now you're excited?
It depends because
I'm looking forward to it.
because one of my favorites, if not the top, is Winter Soldier, because Cap stays in his lane in that movie. Everybody does, right? Like to me, it still kind of doesn't make sense for like Cap to really, really be on a galactic level fighting somebody, unless there's like a story like arc, right? Where like, and it's set up, as silly as it is, they set it up in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Where they're like, he almost picked up the hammer, right? Mm. That's something that pays off later because it's good writing, and has nothing to do with him having superpowers. It has everything to do with him being a good dude, almost godly, right? So Winter Soldier is great, and it's a spy thriller, right? With like humans who have powers, but barely, right? Yeah. Spider-Man's way stronger than Captain America. Way stronger. Can throw a tank. Like Cap can't do that. So you have Black Widow. What do you do with a character like that? She got no powers. She's just a fucking spy. Well, you make a fucking spy movie. And if that spy movie's really good, then I'm interested. And it looks like everybody in this movie isn't like some roided out fucking Marvel character that has like crazy ass powers. It looks like everybody's kind of on equal playing field. And
David Harbour's like,
oh, dude,
can't even put the costume on.
Right, but they got some. So then let's look at that. Let's not forget Scarlett Johansson's a great actress. Yeah, you give her a good script, she's a great actress. Fucking Florence Pugh's great. Oh God, Rachel Weisz is great. Mm-hmm. David Harbour, like all these people are really, they're not slouches, and they all take their work seriously. So I'm willing to get rid of my cynical attitude to see what happens with this new Black Widow movie. But if I'm being honest, I'm way more excited about Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, me too.
Just because
I haven't seen nothing on it.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to see Kristen Wiig play a bad guy.
Yeah.
I love when comedians,
and they're pretty much told her not to show any pictures of her as Cheetah.
I'm love when comedians freaking just go outside the box and do something crazy like that, because I know usually they knock it out the park. I.e., Adam.
What
Sandler,
if they do the
Uncut
Cheetah
Gems.
from Dead Earth? How crazy would that be?
Oh my God!
Another great DC Black Label book.
Oh my God!
For the love of God, let Black Label stay alive.
So great.
Actually, which one are you looking forward to? Even a month outside of these three, is there a movie you're looking forward to this year?
I don't know. I think Wonder Woman is the one. Like Black Widow, it's funny. Like I didn't think Winter Soldier was a bad movie. I just thought it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
So I'm still excited to see Black Widow, but Wonder Woman, I'm really excited. I feel like that's going to be way more entertaining.
I think so too.
I think that's all I had on my list.
Nothing like last week's episode.
Nothing at all.
Man.
It's great.
Listeners, you're in for a treat.
Right on course.
This is the best. I've had so many people say that the last episode we did was like really good.
Oh, see, we're
not kidding.
Something.
Like,
yeah, me too. I've had a lot of people recently.
So let's all keep making fun of Botter as much as we possibly can.
We've always done that though.
No, hard though.
Oh, harder.
Yeah, I want to just
make him cry.
Yeah, let's just really ramp it up.
We need to give you a safe word.
All his right. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. We already
blow my
banana.
You guys can lean into me really hard.
Butter's like, Palomino, my feelings. Oh, my feelings.
No, you got to give me a word that I can't pronounce. That way you guys just never back off.
Oh, my God.
Why'd I give you that idea? God damn it.
Butter's like, John Romita, John Ramosi, John Mazzetta, John Moses, shit.
Let's go and take a music break.
Spider-Man.
We'll come back. You guys can really let me have it. Then we got some emails. We'll do some champions. I want to play something from Mecha the Marvelous. It's been a minute since I played some tunes from him. Cool. DJ Crumbs has been doing a great job supplying the tunes while Mecha and Alan work on something new.
Nice.
So I'll play this song called Runnin' Arpeggio off the Shortbox Mixtape Volume 2, which is a perk you can enjoy when you become a Shortbox patron. So we'll play this music and we'll be right back. Ashley, what did you pick up from the shop today?
Oh my god. Sorry
Just put
for
it
all the
Ooh,
noise.
here we go.
Okay, so I got
Little gnat sound.
Little Nemo, which is new. Pulp.
Little Nemo, the Dream Master or the fish?
She's like both.
Oh, the fish?
The Dream Master.
That's Finding Nemo. That's cool.
I got a bunch of like Image and Boom stuff, and the new Sex Criminals. I guess that came out last week. It was like 2 weeks worth of stuff.
Yes, thank you for showing us that.
But yeah, you like that?
No.
Dug through the bag. Like, there you go.
No, she
Just
actually,
for the ambiance.
no, she opened up the Sex Criminals out of the poly bag to show us such a
Have you not seen it, Ed?
spectacular splash page.
It is spectacular.
Is it dirty?
Yeah, we're gonna have to beep out whatever your
It's gonna have
response
to beep out a visual thing. That's how dirty it is.
Is this dirty?
Oh, look at that. Wiener.
Really?
No, it's fine.
No, it's the human body. It's the anatomy.
Yeah.
I've seen worse. I've seen naughtier, I guess.
Really?
Actually,
Expound.
I don't need
Saga.
to. Don't
Expound.
tell me.
Heavy metal?
Oh.
Saga?
Okay, heavy metal when it was run by Kevin Eastman.
No.
Not while
Before.
it's run by
Grant Morrison?
Grant Morrison. It's okay. They took out the furries sex shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Eastman I didn't really.
Oh, dude. Under his rule,
yeah. Those are the ones I remember.
bad.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Bad.
A young,
More than the 80s stuff.
Wait, no. The 80s stuff was kind of like, okay, there's a dong, it's tasteful. And then when dude, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you don't see anthropomorphic animals that are freaking transsexual, Catholic schoolgirl, fucking
every fetish crossed
dude,
off.
it really is.
And we're back from break.
I'm not kidding. That fucking.
This is
I was so scared when Grant Morrison took
This is
over
a
for heavy
Patreon
metal.
exclusive.
Seriously, because I was like, oh man, I hope he doesn't leave any of that shit in there. Like
class
that,
it up a little.
he did. He brought it back to the 80s. Like he made it
Yeah.
like
Okay.
an 80s like comic book.
So
again.
Milo Manera, not trans
dude,
furry.
Ooh, Malera is like,
what?
yo, he's in my top 5.
Whoa.
That's another list though.
Oh God!
Hey, real quick,
Erotic
actually,
artists.
you bringing up Grant Morrison's heavy metal run made me think that is the last time that I think we had Adam on the show. Yo, because he had that story that he was working on that was being published in heavy metal, and we haven't heard from him since.
He died.
No, he went on to the big leagues. Fuck this shit. All right, Shortbox Nation, we are back once again. That was music from Mecca the Marvelous. We have got some emails to read as well as
Ooh.
a voicemail. Our first one comes from Joshua Pickett.
Okay.
Let's see, do the honors.
God.
It's a question. Surprise!
Son of a bitch. Fastball special
forgot about
from
it.
Joshua Pickett. Nice. I like the title. Just a quick question. Is there a writer or artist you'd like to see do X-Men that hasn't already? And that's it. That's all he wrote.
That's weird. There's actually one more line.
No,
in
I
that
don't
email.
really see it. I
I
can't.
feel like you'd be doing it injustice.
It says, love Joshua Pickett. Thank you very much for not saying that last line.
Oh.
Josh, thank you so much. I will keep it geeky.
No!
Email implies. And then I'll turn to my co-host for
Guys.
the question. Is there a writer or artist you'd like to see do X-Men that hasn't already? I cannot think of one writer artist that has not done X-Men.
Yeah.
Like, yo, it is.
Okay,
it's
you know
really
what? Let's
hard.
not try and take it
No.
too hard on Josh. But essentially,
Let me think. Let me
like
think, though.
X-Men now at this point in time, look, X-Men in the 60s was like, oh shit, this is an artist's book. This is a thinking person's book. Like, like they were talking about issues and dealing with different
This is the
things,
dream
right?
gig.
Like
Yeah,
this
for
was
real,
like,
right?
you know, 70s and 80s, same thing, right? And then like the 90s started losing a little bit of that clout till like now. X-Men is basically like your daughter that's a whore.
Whoa.
That you're like,
Jesus Christ.
that you're like,
Damn,
that you're like
say
sitting
that,
here like,
man.
oh my God, why do you?
Hey, man, it's
why
my
do you-
daughter you're talking about.
But that's the thing is that you're sitting here like, oh my God,
He
like,
just has OnlyFans. It's not
right,
full on.
right, nice. Yeah.
What else are you going to do with
See
the
what I'm saying?
pandemic?
Like,
You are so
see what I'm
stupid for
saying?
that.
It's true though.
Wow.
It's true. Like when you look at X-Men, it doesn't have the same prestige as it did before because it's like, yeah, who hasn't fucking worked on X-Men?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break. Like, just, like I'm so over the shit stories. the fucking horrible art, the good stories.
Wait, weren't you
the
texting
good
me
art.
how much you love Hickman's
hold on.
X-Men like yesterday?
Yeah, that is someone who has already worked on X-Men. So
Okay.
now I have to think of somebody who hasn't worked on X-Men.
I'm just going with artists.
Yeah.
So
Who would you say, Ed?
Even that's hard.
Fiona Staples. Has she worked on X-Men?
No, she has not. That's a
I
good
think her
Damn, that was
doing
pretty
X-Men
easy.
would be pretty cool.
Wait, who?
Fiona Staples?
Hmm.
I almost
No,
said
that'd
Fiona Apple.
I know, right? God. Oof. Tori Amos would be a great
Tori Amos.
Who would you have?
I'm trying to think, dude.
See? There's a reason.
Well, I guess it's also...
X-Men's like this lady in the back, like, suck your dick for $1.
Oh,
Jeez.
I don't know about... I still look at it like a badge of honor. Like, okay, yeah.
It used to be.
Did you do X-Men?
Yeah. I haven't drawn for Disney yet.
But I also feel like X-Men doesn't... Like, I can't really name a time where they had like just a really shit artist. They normally have pretty damn good
Greg
artists.
Land.
Yeah.
Manifest Destiny, Greg Land.
Okay,
You're welcome.
not everything's
You're welcome.
perfect. But I mean, can you name any... Who else would you say was just a complete shit artist for X-Men?
Who took over after Jack Kirby? Like right after Jack Kirby. That guy. The guy trying to be Kirby. That guy
I
trying to
don't
be
remember
Kirby.
who took
Yeah,
over.
there's a reason.
Ashley, who would you have? Writer or
Are
artist?
we doing this or what?
I really like this this Tom King, Mitch Gerard's little team up that they're doing. Tom King's not exclusive DC, right?
Yes.
Is he?
Feel like
Is
it.
he really?
I think so.
I
Because
think.
he did Vision,
Well, and then he
after
stopped
that.
doing Marvel.
and then
Yeah.
he started
That was his
doing.
last
Damn, that's a good combo. Tom
That
King
would,
and,
if he could go over
and,
there,
Yeah,
Mitch
that'd be
Gerard.
Eastman and
Mitch
Laird.
Gerard would be dope. Yeah, and you know Tom
Man,
King
I'd
would,
read it.
Tom King would make it like existential and some
No
shit
pun
like that
intended.
with all them characters he's got.
That's
Because he
the-
loves that
Yeah.
9-panel shit.
That's what the title would be called.
What?
Monthly Existential.
I guess in the same regard like that, I would probably say, well, no, he's already done it.
See?
I was
doing
gonna
this or what,
say I was gonna say Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips.
You want me to
But
spin on it?
I don't think I've seen Sean Phillips do X-Men, but I don't know if his style would complement X-Men.
What does that mean, though?
I mean-
See, the fact that there is a style
the
that has
story.
to complement.
Well,
it's
I
like,
just don't think I don't. It's because Sean Phillips, his brand is like noir, like
noir
criminal and
story.
things like that. I haven't seen him do superhero stuff like
A
that.
Wolverine Noir story. Could happen.
That'd not be bad. Okay, yeah, Sean Phillips, Wolverine Noir. Thank you, thank you, Ed, for the suggestion. See, what about you? Anyone come to mind at all?
Josh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
you caught us
you
at
know
this.
what?
You
I got
caught
one.
us at this
Bernie Wrightson.
weird junction.
I got one.
No, because you know what? Not everything superhero.
They don't deserve it.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
think
deserve it.
Sean Murphy doing X-Men would be pretty
That
cool.
would be cool.
I think he would nail
Yeah.
it.
That's a good one.
You can just have that one.
It could be anybody, right? It doesn't have to be contemporary.
And we can move
trying.
on.
I'm
Think about
trying.
it.
I almost just honestly want to be
Mobius.
like, I'm fucking done.
Damn. Has
I'm
Mobius
fucking
done
done.
X-Men?
He's drawn X-Men characters before,
Yeah.
but he hasn't done. He hasn't
You
done.
can't
them.
afford that guy.
Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, I can't. Seriously.
You want a page rate? Get out
Right.
Here.
I would say Jack Kirby. Fuck no. No. I don't know, man. Ed said Eastman and Laird. I don't know if you were serious or not, but yeah, I would fucking read it.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, Eastman and Laird. That's my legitimate pick.
There you go, Josh. We got you covered, baby. Thank you for that email. And then we got a voicemail to play from Ben Kingsbury.
Hey, Shortbox listeners. Ben Kingsbury here at Gotham City Limit, interrupting your regularly scheduled broadcast to bring you a special announcement. We're doing what they said was canceled. We're throwing an impromptu mask-on free comic book day. Next Sunday, August 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., we will be celebrating the Jacksonville comic community the best way we know how, with free stuff. Some of the exclusives include a Loki Pop t-shirt, a Thor #1 Funko Pop variant cover, Miles Morales pins, Emma Frost statues. Some of the comics include Spider-Man, Batman Overdrive, Critical Vox, The Tick, Lady Mechanica, and more. So grab your favorite mask and your favorite sidekick, and we'll see you on Sunday, August 23rd. Enjoy the week.
I will, Ben. I will. Thank you. No, so shout outs to Ben and Gotham City Limits, of course. Like I said, that event is next Sunday. I'll probably, stop by and set up a little podcast booth or something to promote that. So, with that being said, that is our emails. Thank you so much, Joshua. Thank you, Ben. With that being said, let's go and jump into our last segment of the show, our champion season. For those of you tuning in, Champion Season is our last segment of the show. It's our opportunity to go around the table and highlight a few things in pop culture that we feel, hey, this is really dope. More people should be checking it out. It could be a movie, a TV series, a comic book, a video game, etc., whatever it may be. It is our opportunity to highlight that. Ashley, how about you going to kick us off? What are you going to champion today?
So I've got like a huge stack of comics, but I haven't read any of them yet. So I'm doing TV this week.
Nice.
So next time I'll have a lot of comic stuff to champion. So I finished Breaking Bad, and then I watched El Camino.
Oh, wow.
And then I started watching Umbrella Academy Season 2.
I'm sorry.
And I've enjoyed all of. I mean, obviously, like Umbrella Academy is a lot different than Breaking Bad.
Really?
But it's just
For 2 seconds, I was like with Ed, like, wait, what?
I've enjoyed everything that I've watched this week. So yeah, that's you guys didn't like Umbrella Academy?
No.
I haven't watched it since first.
Nobody's watched Umbrella Academy?
Just half of the first season. I like the books.
Man.
I got both the trades.
For the record, my sister loves that show, and she's always getting on me for not having, finished it. She swears that, season 2 like is the truth or something like that.
The truth.
I'm like halfway through season 2 and I love it.
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
It's really, really good. And I always talk about Justified. If I ever don't know what to watch, I rewatch that first episode of Justified.
So good.
And they're the same actor, Kevin Rankin. He's in Justified, Breaking Bad, and now he's in season 2 of Umbrella Academy. So it's kind of funny to see him play like, white supremacist jerk, and then like super cool like 1960s conspiracy theory guy.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of X-Files. So yeah, I've had a good TV watching week, not a very good comic reading week.
Okay. Well, let us know next week if that switches.
It will.
Because you got a nice stack of comics. So.
I do. Very nice.
Thank you,
You
Ashley.
didn't show us. Don't give the bag.
Ed, what are you going to champion today?
I just got one. It's a podcast I just recently saw. It was on Spotify. And it's a Spotify exclusive, I believe. It's Aliens Like Us with Reese Darby, who is Murray from Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, yeah.
And very funny guy. But they basically, it's him and 2 other co-hosts, and they just talk about aliens. And they bring in a guest sometimes. The first guest was actually Henry Zabrowski.
Oh, cool.
That's so funny.
Because they're Spotify buddies.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're like, see you at the Spotify, party later this year. All this weird-looking white dude's gonna be there.
That's awesome.
And then Jim Jeffries is a guest on one. So there's, I think, 6 episodes in this first, I guess, season, or however they're breaking it up. And they're only about 30 minutes each. They do like a little news segment, like technology or whatever, and then they talk about, alien conspiracies and stuff. And I can tell he's into it, but it's not. I think it's more for fun and laughs than, serious. Because he said he's actually been to these. He's actually was a speaker at one of these UFO convention things.
Oh, wow.
So it's just a fun show. If you like Reese Darby, if you like that, that kind of humor, it's a fun listen.
Okay, good one, Ed. See, what about you? What are you going to champion?
I'm going to champion because of you. I'm going to champion the video game Cuphead.
Because of you.
Botter talked about it, and I'd forgotten that I wanted to buy it. And I was like, oh, fuck, Cuphead. And he's like, yeah, I just downloaded that shit. And I couldn't believe it. It's I don't know. If anybody played that game, everybody that knows it's a time suck. It's a hole that you fall into that you will never ever get out of, and you will not regret it. The art design's amazing. It's super fun. I'm trying to get good enough because Botter had a head start on me, so I need to get to his level of.
2-player?
Well, I haven't gone to his house to play it yet.
Oh.
I haven't knocked on his door and asked his mom if he could come over, if I could come in and play.
Spoiler warning.
Been like,
plans
play it
after
online?
podcast.
I was just.
I'm not sure. I have not tried that. There's a 2-player mode. I'm not sure if it's local or online.
It's like Gunstar Heroes, if anybody remembers that. They're old as shit.
Yeah.
For Sega Genesis. And my second will be House of X, Powers of X by Hickman and a bunch of, I can't remember all the other talented artists.
R.B. Silva and Pepe Perez or something
and
like
then
that.
didn't Stuart Immonen help out somehow? No?
No, that's just how good them
They
dudes
just look like
have,
Stuart
you know,
Immonen's work.
aped his work, yeah.
Yeah. It's a good story. It's a very good story. If you are, Josh, if you're still listening after my depressing rant, if you are still interested, I recommend House of X, Powers of X. It's a good X-Men story. It made me feel like the spirit of Chris Claremont was still alive somewhere in those bones, them old bones.
Yeah, I think it's a great jumping on point for new readers, but also something for longtime X-Men fans to like enjoy something like fresh.
Yeah, they're doing just to go back to Cuphead, they're doing a cartoon, Netflix cartoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're doing
What's it going to be rated?
I don't know. It's on Netflix, so it could be anything.
Do you know how soon?
I don't know. They just did like a little behind the scenes with
That's so cool.
a handful of the artists, and they're doing it like traditional Fleischer style. But yeah.
Okay. No.
Fleischman.
Anything else, see?
That's it.
Cool. I will piggyback on that Cuphead as well, only because to Cesar's point, you go in thinking, I'll just play a couple rounds before, the next thing I need to go do. And it's 4 or 5 hours later. It is $20 on PSN Network right now. I think it originally launched on Xbox only or Switch as well. One of those two. I think mainly Xbox in 2017. To this date, I think it's sold 6 million copies in 3 short years. Like it is... it's won a ton of awards. I think, Caesar already kind of touched on it. It's a classic run and gun action game, mainly focused on boss battles, which is really fun. You just kind of get the meat of it. Every boss looks different. It's I've never played a game like this, and I can, confidently say that. Like, it's just, I've never experienced playing, a Fletcher Studios Disney animation meets Mega Man Mario is the best way I can kind of put it. And it is extremely challenging, like aggravating. It's insanely challenging, but also really rewarding when you beat it. And I think that's sort of that kind of addiction kind of comes in a way, is that it's so fucking hard that you don't put it down because you're like, okay, I think I got it this time.
And it's different.
I got it this time.
It's hard, but it's fun. It's not hard because
it's
broken.
It's the funnest.
Weird.
It's the most fun I've ever had losing.
That's
so fucking much.
Yeah. You know what? It's got elements of RPG. It's got elements of run and gun. It's got elements of like the old Konami like spaceship games where you're just kind of like like shooting and like
a whole screen full of bullets.
Yeah. Like Galaga, but sideways. Oh, it's good.
Yeah, and I have not. It's been
Have
a long
you thrown
time.
the controller yet?
Almost.
If they weren't $60.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing stopping me.
I threw my
That's a lot of fucking
controller
money.
so much, and those old school Nintendo controllers can take a
not these fucking DualShock 4
new ones.
You got to hold the hand on them with like white gloves. No, but I have woken up like some mornings with just a raw fucking thumb because I'm just like playing, with the D-pad and all that. But this game just got everything, man. From like the animation, the branding is great, the watercolor backgrounds, and most importantly too is the jazz recordings. The music in this game is spectacular. They actually had I guess they came out with a vinyl box set. That shit is sold out everywhere. But last night,
the merch train is coming.
I'm McFarlane Toys makes some Cuphead merch, and it is great.
They're getting my money.
Yeah, no, they've gotten plenty of my money. It's the best $20 you could buy for a game. Like, honestly, if they would have charged, $50, $60, it would have been worth it. Knowing what I know now, well worth a higher price tag. But $20 is, I can't recommend it enough. Last night I had, I just left the start screen on while I was like cooking and doing the show notes because the music is so good. Like it's just, it just hits everything, man. I can't recommend it enough. You got a PS4 or a Xbox or Switch. The other thing I'll recommend, talking about, bringing up Todd McFarlane and whatnot, is his Like Hell I Won't documentary on Sci-Fi. It's more like a TV short, about like 45 minutes.
It's good.
It chronicles his, I think this was kind of recorded before Spawn hit issue 300, which kind of makes him the record holder for the longest running creator-owned comic. It goes into his rise and finding, being a co-founder of Image, creating Spawn. They've got interviews of Joe Quesada, Robert Kirkman,
Like Silvestri.
Silvestri,
Yeah,
like
cool.
pretty much everyone that
You
knows.
made that joke
What's up?
that I look like Mark Silvestri. Like when I was fat and I had my long hair, you're like, yo, this looks like.
You know what?
No.
I look down for a minute. I look up. I'm like, yo, what the? They interviewed Cesar for this? I was like, oh no, that's fucking Mark Silvestri. Okay, cool, I got it.
Okay.
Oh.
So what I was going to say is I looked at that scene and I was just kind of like,
Yeah, you got it.
I was like, God damn it, Botter.
Yeah, you fucking.
God damn it, Botter.
It's good. It's inspiring. Like, say what you will about Todd McFarlane's persona and his, kind of how braggadocious he is. But there is a line, I think, in the documentary or an article I read that I was like, damn, all right, you got me there, Todd. He says, you don't have to like me or my character, but what you should like is that there's now proof that you, as a creative person, can create something, own it, and 25 years later, still own it. That's the story to me over everything else. And straight up, you got to, that's a mic drop statement. And yeah, it's a good insight into what it takes to.
He's definitely the Patrick Ewing of comic books.
Dude, I mean, you watch it and, it's like, Spawn 300 issues, there's like comic books with 400 or 500, but knowing that it is something that he owns, that he's, has seen from the beginning to now, it's definitely inspiring, and I can't recommend it
While
enough.
running, several different companies.
Yeah, 2 or 3 different companies.
And
2 or 3 different lawsuits
not
at any
comic
given moment.
related. Right, right.
and it made me because I have issue 300 I just had not gotten around to it, but I immediately opened it back up because it shows like he's working on these covers and these pages in the middle of board meetings on a call driving.
That's crazy.
And it's cool. It's like he's on the phone. It's like, okay, guys, when do we need to send this to the printer so we can get it out? He's like on the phone,
it's
talking to the guy.
it's cool. It's cool as hell. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough.
It's not because some people will have an aversion to him, but he's not too, even though it is about him, he's not talking the whole 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there's small doses of him. So it's he's
trying
digestible.
to you're trying to like prep people like guys.
There's some.
I'm gonna invite my uncle over. He's gonna talk about religion and politics, and it's probably not something you want to hear.
As successful as he's very divisive. He's a very divisive.
He's a polarizing dude.
Very
But
polarizing.
I guess I've never felt that way about him. It's like, but what is polarizing about him? Like, what is so polarizing about Todd McFarlane?
Because he can come across as arrogant and full of himself.
Yeah.
If you don't know anything about him, but at the same time, it's like we're all comic book fans and we're all fans of art regarding comic books. So it's like there's respect there, and it's like, yo, he earned it. It's like when people look at Tarantino and they say, "Oh, I don't like that guy. He's full of himself."
There's a lack of humility,
right?
That some people don't like.
But he's earned it.
Yeah,
like if you're the best and you say you're the best, it's almost dishonest to have a false modesty about you.
And I think that's the thing. Even though how successful he is, as some people like, even the sense of modesty endears to people,
Sure.
I said, I don't get why people don't like Todd McFarlane. You guys are like, well, because he can come off cocky and, it's all about him. I'm like,
Butter's like, check. I
guess I used to like Stan Lee, and it's like, Stan Lee was kind of similar like that too.
Yeah, no, but
he's more personable.
Stan Lee was more personable,
he had
and he even
fine touch.
And he even said shit like, "Of course, I'm good, true believer." He didn't lie about himself either. He was never false modest.
Yeah, I guess with Todd McFarlane, it's like, he can talk all this shit, but at the heart of it, he did something that he was looking out for everyone. That's benefited hundreds of writers and whatnot. Like
more than Neil Adams.
I feel like, I guess for me, I can look kind of past that of like, all right, that's just the braggadocious. But at the heart of it, this dude's looking out for everyone. Like he was looking at the principle of things.
There's that thing too. Even though you're successful, that kind of attitude will still turn people off.
Sure,
it's
true.
Haters. There's still haters,
and there's haters. There's the haters too. So it's like I can take them in small doses.
I think
myself.
It's also the nature of comic books and the people that dabble in it. I mean, you're talking about a very recluse, introspective like individuals, like very kind of low key. So I think when you have someone like Todd McFarlane,
he brings that kind of
jock. When you have
energy.
a jock,
he brings that jock energy, which growing up getting harassed by those guys, you kind of like, oh fuck this, But he's still.
But there were nerd jocks too.
Oh yeah,
like there were jocks who did like nerdy shit.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah. So I recommend it. Like hell, I won't. It's on Sci-Fi's website.
It's
You
on
can watch
YouTube
it on
too.
YouTube as well. I think Sci-Fi. Hell, I'll do a little a co-champion as well. The Sci-Fi. I think Sci-Fi Wire is specifically the YouTube channel that Sci-Fi has that caters to like a bunch of comic book stuff. They always got good documentaries, good like introspective like video docs and shorts. I recommend Sci-Fi. Period. And the last thing I'll champion is something local. It is called the Jack's Nerds Zine. It is an annual publication from Movement Magazine or Movement Publishing. So shout out to Max Michaels as part of his camp. It is a free zine. It covers comics, gaming, conventions, and cosplay. There is a ton. Like every page is just a helpful list of like nerdy places in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine. He's got like maps of where comic shops are, video game stores, cosplay.
That's helpful.
Like, I ended up learning about a couple shops that I was not aware of at all. He's got a list of conventions and festivals of the nerdy variety, of course. I already mentioned the maps. This particular issue has got an interview with cosplayer Miss Corey Mori. Part of the GAM fam, so shout outs to her. I probably slaughtered that name. I apologize.
Mori. That's it.
And then on the back, there's coupons for Video Game Rescue. So I can't recommend it enough. Good work on this, Max, and the whole Movement team. He did mention if you can't find a physical issue, I picked that one up at Video Game Rescue. There's a whole bundle of it. But if you can't find a physical issue, the zine info is being duplicated on the website, jacksnerds.com. So it's only an annual physical print. So I think you can pick it up at most comic shops. I think I've started to see those, but it's super helpful, man, for anyone just kind of curious, like, where's all the nerdy stuff at in Jackson and surrounding areas? Pick that up. And that's what I got for my champions. Any last minute shout outs, et cetera, et cetera. C, you got anything you want to share with the folks?
Nothing.
Closing remarks? All right. Ed, what about you?
Ed.5000, Instagram, still taking commissions.
I like it. Ashley? Anything? Shout outs, announcements? Okay.
Your dog, Sandor.
IG. Yeah. Sandor has an Instagram. Sandor the Chocolate Lab. And I think I'm going to start taking commissions in September. So.
Wow, okay.
Homework assignments.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
The only one that I had noted, and maybe this could be a group thing, is because of New Mutants. I know I have at least said I'm going to read the Mutant or the Demon Bear saga at least 50 fucking times in the last year. So I'm going to
not
take.
that long. It's
I know it's
two
like
issues,
about 2 or 3 issues. So I'm going to take that on for next episode and in celebration of the movie coming out. So I'm going to read Demon Bear saga.
Maybe. The movie's coming out.
Yeah, maybe.
Tentatively. August 28th.
TBA.
If any of you guys want to join me, that's fine. And our Shortbox listeners, if you want to join in on the homework assignment, Demon Bear Saga, New Mutants. I know it's available on the Marvel Unlimited app. There is plenty of trades probably to
There's a trade with Demon Bear Saga, and then the second half is something else. I don't remember.
Oh, cool. All right, so plenty available. So if you guys want to join in on that homework assignment and let us know your thoughts, shoot us an email at theshortboxjacks@gmail.com.
Marvel app.
Yeah, the Marvel Unlimited app.
The one you
has
don't
it.
like?
No, the one that I hate that app, yo. Yo, that's why I'm rocking with this DC.
That app is trash.
That's why I'm rocking with this DC Universe shaky app
You know
over
what's
here.
funny? This is
Next month it might be there. You don't know.
I was about to say this is like the people that were like before Episode 1 of Star Wars came out got like tattoos of Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, God.
And like
I
Anakin
regret it every day.
Skywalker, and they're like, "Yo, this guy is gonna be fucking awesome. This dude right here." It's like everybody that was like, "Guys, the DC app here to stay."
I got that full Jar Jar back piece. I need to get laser.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Lasered off.
Complete it. Complete it.
So I'll have some words for Demon Bear Saga. All right, well, that sounds like we are at the end of our show, Shortbox Nation. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and sharing your most valuable commodity with us, which is your time. It is appreciated. I want to give another round of applause and shout out to our sponsor, Gotham City Limit, as well as our Shortbox patrons. If you enjoyed the show and you feel inclined to help us keep the lights on here at Shortbox Studios, consider becoming a Shortbox patron. We'll reward you with bonus episodes, commercial-free episodes, as well as exclusive merch. Check out what we have to offer on our membership site, patreon.com/theshortbox. And with all that being said, listeners, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'll plan to be at Gotham City Limit next Sunday for Free Comic Book Day, so sometime between 10 and 4 p.m. Catch me there if you live in the area. And as far as next week's podcast, we've got a guest joining us, and she is an editor, speaking about editors, and writer at Lion Forge Comics. It should be insightful. So in the meantime, continue to make mine and yours Shortbox. Oh, keep it.
God damn it.
Yo, what happened to peace? Peace.